But 12 bald American volleyball players took the court here at the Palau des Sports. The one, of course, being Bob Samuelson, and 11 others showing solidarity for Samuelson.
Any yellow cards issued in this match to the bald guy, they're going to have lots of choices. Multiple choice question.
Game 2, Canada in red. The United States, there's a block in blue. The United States won the first game 15-12. Samuelson, the center of the controversy, the eye in the storm, as the captain, Scott Fortune, with Canada leading the United States 6-5. Brousseau with the kill. Of course, American volleyball star Brian Ivey still out. That says fight the power 23-0. What does that mean?
The control committee has 23 members. The vote was 23-0 against the United States. So Ivey can't fight on the court, so he's fighting with his protest from the sidelines.
Randy Gingera serving. The Americans have looked very disorganized. So have the Canadians. 1-0 USA. Stork to Samuelson, and Bob Samuelson gets his 5th kill. He came out very nervous and tentative in game 1.
Didn't play at all well in game 1. Got into the flow in game 2. Only 2 kills early, but making a nice adjustment there with Jeff Stork going behind the setter.
Samuelson. Pretty good serve. Canada on the attack. Gingera. And it's Doug. And through the block, Bob Samuelson registers his 6th kill.
Bob Samuelson out of the back row, jump serving. Gino Brousseau, number 10 for Canada, really been carrying the load offensively for them. Couldn't get it done in game 1, holding Canada into the match here in game 2.
Bob Samuelson, 6'5", 220 pounds from Marina del Rey. Americans with a chance for a point. Stork. And Stavertlik puts it away. Bob Stavertlik, you can't tell them by their faces and their hair anymore, as Fred Sturm, 12 years at Stanford University, the 1989 NCAA Coach of the Year.
The coach is the only group to disdain the buzz cut. We were giving him a bad time about it, too.
Samuelson. Let's tell you a little about Canada, a very good volleyball team. They have given the United States trouble. 36 matches since 1985. The United States has won 19, Canada 17, but this year Canada has won 5 of 8, and Canada plays the U.S. tough.
Well, they're a big physical team. It's got to be pointed out this is the first time that the United States and Canada have played since all the stars came back from Italy. So the United States really should come into this match as the favorite, but Canada holds very tough.
We're tied at 7 as the serve travels wide. That was Gino Brousseau, one of the 2 French-Canadians on the team. And so now Steve Timmons without the familiar red flat top. Will it make him weak? We will find out. Americans have it. Stork. And down the line. So Bob Stavertlik gets his 6th kill, and the Americans now lead 8-7.
A key for Bob Stavertlik. Got to get the set right out to the sideline and much quicker from Jeff Stork to free him up.
Scooped up by Canada. And that ball spiked out of bounds. So
Mark Albert, excuse me, Chris, turning the ball down the line. Albert, very inconsistent so far. And Brian Watson wants to use Albert. He gives a lot more size to the Canadian lineup.
Americans by 2. Gingera. And it's blocked again. The United States with Stavertlik, number 4, right on top of that play. So the Americans now leading 10-7. We'll be back. More volleyball, United States and Canada. States leading Canada 1-0. Bill Knight thumps one down in the middle. Bill Knight considered the best player on Canada's squad.
Kent Greaves doing an excellent job that time with the one-handed set. Canada gets into a good passing rhythm. Greaves a good setter in this tournament.
Jeff Stork, he whips it in the middle to Doug Partee. 5 kills for the reliable Partee. Always a good percentage hitter.
Well, Jeff Stork selective when he sets him, but Bob Stavertlik, Scott Fortune got to pass the ball much better in order for Partee to get more into the offense.
Greaves, quick set, it's dug by Stavertlik. Whip it left side to Fortune, and he bangs it home.
Reason that's successful, much quicker transition set to the outside. The block is not together, then Fortune and Stavertlik will be successful.
Stavertlik, a veteran, World Championship team in '86. as that ball fires on the line. 88 Olympic team, best passer in the world at one time.
Not getting much of a chance to pass here, though. Scott Fortune is the target.
Quick set, and it's blocked out of bounds. Give the kill to Doug Partee. So Partee, wearing number 15, Kart's old number, sets to put the ball in play. United States up 11-7. Shank pass by Canada. Whip it out to Mark Albert, and he responds.
The United States got part of what they wanted. An ugly pass by Canada, high outside, very predictable set, but the United States blocking poorly in this match, just like they did against the Japanese.
So Randy Gingera with a great jump serve. And the quick set, Samuelson hits it out of bounds, 11-8.
Pretty good looking play. Bob Samuelson, unforced error, hammering the ball straight out of bounds.
Gingera reportedly jumps 40.5 inches, his vertical. That one snapped down by Bob Samuelson. So Bob Samuelson to serve. Front line of the Americans trying to line up against Canada. Sammy. Nice dig. Scoop it to Samuelson, and he crunches it. When Bob Samuelson first tried out for the USA team, the coach at the time, Bill Neville, took a liking to him. Without Bill Neville, Bob Samuelson would not be on the team. Ace! What did Bill Neville like about Samuelson? Big, strong, emotional, enthusiastic.
In the first day he came to try out for the national team, he had an arrow cut in his head, a tie-dye shirt, and his high-top Air Jordan.
What a pair. So Bob Samuelson. Many people in the United States felt he was the GOAT in the first match against Japan because he did get that yellow card and was forfeited, but the team doesn't feel that way.
Hey, the 12 shaved heads out there on the volleyball court today for the United States say that he was not the GOAT. We're in this all together, and we support what he did and don't change a thing.
So Samuelson gets a rest. Nick Becker out of USC, 6'4", lives in Newport Beach, California, is in to pass and play defense. Quick set and pounded down. Doug Partee, kill number 7.
Partee's going to continue to have a big Olympics. He was the most efficient hitter for the United States in the Seoul Games. Just needs to get more action. Needs Bob Stavertlich and Scott Fortune to pass the ball more consistently.
Pipe set, and Knight puts it away. Brian Watson, the head coach of Canada for 7 years, his #1 assistant, Julien Boucher. He'll be retiring after the Olympics. They have a new coach coming in. His name, Clement Lemieux. Has Watson done a good job?
I think he's done a good job of training this team physically and technically and playing the game, but I don't think Canada competes hard enough. You've got Gino Brousseau out there and a couple of other players who are fired up, really going after the Americans, but I don't think the rest of the Canadians really compete hard enough.
13-9. And Canada with a serving error. That was made by Kent Greaves. USA leads this match 1-0 and 13-9 here in game 2. The ball is dug. As Canada gets it back, Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland, and the free ball coming. Stork, left side, and it's blocked just out of bounds. The Americans get another point. Eric Sato, he served gold medal point. Said he had a vision, a dream the night before he was going to do it. Sato with the dig. Fortune. Not yet. Albert. And Albert knifes it through.
I don't know if Eric Sato is having any sweet dreams so far in this Olympics. Been quite a bit of a struggle, but maybe some nightmares early.
14-9, Canada serving. Bill Knight had some back problems, but he's recovered from them. Back set, Timmons, nice dig. Canada trying to get to 10. Brousseau, no! Stuffed right back.
Sweet set to the outside, and one thing Bob Samuelson has really been doing well since he's come into the match and in place of Brian Ivy, blocking the ball, leading the way in that category for the United States.
Jeff Stork, best serving setter in the world. It's the second game point, and finally, Randy Gingera putting it away.
Unusual mistake by Steve Timmons. The overpass, he should hammer this ball straight into the floor. Instead, the foul tip, and Gingera rips the ball in between the United States blockers. Unusual mistake by Timmons.
9 serving 14. Blocked. A beautiful stuff block by Gino Brissot.
Brissot been again the leader for Canada. One-on-one with Samuelson, making the good move on the slide, taking away the cross court.
14-10. Canada trying to get back in. Stork, quick set. Oh, another stuff.
Bill Knight doing an excellent job this time as Brissot had before. And Jim McLaughlin, he's communicating down to Fred Sturm. You see the earpiece. McLaughlin on Sturm's staff, and McLaughlin feeding offensive, defensive information right down into Sturm's head, calling the offensive pattern.
Canada retrieves. Left side, Brissot. Yes, he is the emotional leader for Canada, and he is into it. 15 kills.
Hammering the ball hard cross court. It's wide open for him. The United States not moving the block far enough inside.
Doug Partee must return. Eric Sato going out. Canadians with 2 straight points. United States still having passing problems. And that one tipped out of bounds. Scott Fortune gets it.
Every serve going to go to Scott Fortune, as it did against Japan, as it is tonight, and will be the rest of the Olympics.
Third game point. X and Gingera booms it. Canadians run a pretty good offense, don't they?
Well, it's like anybody else. When the ball is passed perfectly, and that's what Jeff Stork wants right now as he calls out the play, the triple, the quadruple option, and you're bound to get some wide open shots.
Perfect pass. Stork and Timmons does his thing. 23 for Timbo.
When a hitter is one-on-one, you know that the pass has been good. Just look for that.
The United States trying to snuff out Canada here in game 2. This is the 4th game point. Samuelson. Walk back. Canada a little disorganized. Oh, the Americans. Oh, what a play by Fortune. Right back over. And Canada restores order. Kent Greaves with a very heads-up play.
Kent Greaves with a dump, but we both thought that ball was down, but Scott Fortune, the captain of the United States team, never giving up. Unbelievable save. Keeping the ball in play, and then there's the dump shot. Fakes the set, throws the ball down, and Jeff Stork saying, please, somebody help me get this thing up.
Gino Brissot serves. They set left side to Stavertlik, who seems to have heat today. He has 6.
Brian Ivy's knee injured against Japan. He is still day-to-day. Told me no matter what, even if this was a gold medal, he would not be able to play against Canada.
5th chance as bald-headed Steve Timmons lets it go. And Canada gets another side out.
Mark Albert from the left side, kill number 8. The United States block still ineffective.
Jeff Stork trying to figure out which player to set here as Brissot will put the ball in play. 14-12. Timmons. Canada with a chance here. No, it's blocked back.
Chance for 13. Partee and Stavertlik, back from the '88 Olympic team, played together a long, long time, making a crucial stuff block.
Bob Stavertlik, a security guard at the 1984 Olympic Games. His job, keep the fans and the media from mobbing USA stars like Paul Sunderland. The United States can wrap it here. Timmons, got it!
And even bigger stars in '84 and '88, like Steve Timmons. Whether Timmons has got the flat top or a shaved head, Stork knows where to find him when the game is on the line.
The United States leading 2-0 over Canada.
An entire team of men.
"25-year-old Bob Samuelson, tough to miss, tough to ignore. Big, bold, and emotionally on fire. Qualities that make him appealing to fans and his USA teammates. But on Sunday, his energy level was too high for game officials, and it eventually cost the defending Olympic champion USA squad a wonderfully engineered win. A win, ironically, inspired by his own explosive play. But as we all know now, the very qualities that make him endearing can, on occasion, be costly. But this is a man who knows about tough times, fighting adversity. Samuelson has been on his own since age 15. As a freshman in college, he began losing his hair, alopecia. He was 18. He had no eyebrows. He was going bald. For a year, he walked through life with his head down, embarrassed. But from early on, Samuelson was able to rally from the difficult times, able to forge a positive out of a teenager's bad luck. That same drive would make him a good athlete, not a great volleyball player. But there's something about this character, his character, that you can't ignore. A former U.S. assistant coach saw his potential when others doubted.
Phil Neville always kind of took a liking to me from the beginning. You know, I came and I tried out, and I was the kind of athlete he likes. I was big, strong, fairly quick, and I came in like black shoes, black socks, tie-dye shirt, and he's just going, look at this kid. And he liked me because I was different.
Samuelson, the bald bull, they called him, reminded Neville of another project, another player that nearly was cut loose, Carrot Spike Steve Timmons, who went from a B-team national player who almost quit the sport to a two-time Olympic gold medal winner. This year, Timmons decided to compete in Barcelona. Someone, a recent starter, had to sit down. It was Samuelson, but he refused to be distraught.
It would be different if I felt like I should be on the court, if I thought, you know, that Timmons guy is terrible. You know,
The third game and trails 9-4 in the fourth as we return.
Canada has scored 9 points in a row. Concern in the USA huddle. Players bumping into each other. The passing has been pathetic.
And Scott Fortune under so much pressure, he's on the sidelines right now. Nick Becker into the match. The United States has received 119 serves in the match. Scott Fortune, 102.
USA led 4-zip, now 9-4. Still, however, the United States leads this match 2-1. Kent Greaves to put the ball in play, 24 years old. The team plays very, very well around him. Canadians gaining confidence. Stork. And another mistiming play. That's the third in this game. Is it possible that Stork can't recognize, and I say this seriously, who's where? I mean, there's too many ball guys. How do you recognize?
Well, everybody looks the same, but that's just a miscommunication. Nobody in the area to hit that ball, and this ball not set in good rhythm to Steve Timmons either.
Out of the back line, another kill, 11-4.
The streak goes on. Gino Brousseau lighten it up. Scott Fortune taking a break.
Jeff Stork trying to figure out who to set, who can get the job done, although he's having problems just getting a good pass. There's an adequate pass. That's out of bounds. 12-4. The United States is going down the drain here.
Can get no help from injured Brian Ivey, and Jeff Stork just trying to find somebody to put a ball away. The United States stuck on 4, it seems, endlessly.
Substitution, Brent Hilliard, the two-time NCAA Player of the Year out of Long Beach, coming in for Steve Timmons. So Timmons is out. And there's a smack inside Partee. Why take Timmons out now?
Got to rest him. Have to rest him. Steve Timmons, 33 years old, has hit a ton of sets. Fred Stern, the head coach of the United States, deciding this game basically over. You have to rest your big horse for the final game.
Blocked. And that's more contact. So in the center of the court, the United States puts one down. Samuelson in on it. And the United States scores a point. 5 serving 12.
The United States right now just wanting to get something positive going. Make some good plays, get some momentum if they have to go into a 5th game.
Knight on the right side, kill number 15.
Canada, a different team here in game 4. Attacking out of the back row, passing the ball well, playing good defense. Scott Fortune in his own world right now, trying to regroup.
Canada with a huge lead here in game 4. 12-5 as the ball flies long. Albert with a serving error, so the United States will have it. Jeff Stork. Gingera flies it out.
Good-looking combination play by Canada. Unforced error. Brian Ivy cheering from the sidelines. The United States once again just trying to get something positive started here.
And inside, did that come over? No, it did not. Another point to the United States. So the comeback, Steve Timmons not part of it. He's on the bench. He has 33 kills. He's resting. Stork trying to ignite. Dink, the Americans right on it. Stork. Canada working the quick set. Nicely done.
Hey, Russ Paddock bailing out teammate Randy Gingero, who dinked the ball in a situation where Canada really needs to be a lot more decisive.
Substitution, Eric Boyles, a fiery player out of Calgary. He's 24 years old. He'll replace Paddock.
Into serve, play defense.
Bill Knight, 12-7, Canada. And into the net, 13-7. Break for the Canadians.
Brian Watson has to be thinking about a timeout. There you can see the comparison in hitting efficiency. The Canadians really moving up the chart.
Stork and Stavertlik with good pop that time from the left side.
You see how much better Stavertlik is on the left side the quicker he gets the ball from Jeff Stork.
Timeout called. The Americans trying to come back, but Canada in control of this game at the moment. That ball pounded in on the line, side out to Canada.
Again, Canada playing with so much more confidence. Eric Sato into play defense, no chance on that bullet to the floor. Kent Greaves back set quickly. Becker can't get outside, straight in front of Sato.
In the USA scouting report, it says, does Canada mentally believe they can do it? They list that as one of the weaknesses, as Hilliard is dug. Does Canada believe? Maybe. Now they have 14-7, and they're starting to believe.
The guys in the bullpen certainly sharing the faith. This is a good volleyball team, Canada. They just have to play consistently tough. We talked about it earlier. They just don't compete hard enough at times.
It's game point. Americans disorganized, but that ball put away by Nick Becker. His first kill. Keep in mind, he's in for Scott Fortune, who had passing problems earlier. And Jeff Stork. Quick set. Out of bounds. Point, USA. Would Canada get nervous here?
Oh, absolutely. The worst thing that can happen is they're waiting for the United States to make a mistake and get a freebie for 15 and end the game instead of having to make a play.
Touch. So the Canadians, their best success, fourth in the 1984 Olympic Games. Contrast that to the United States, 2 consecutive Olympic gold medals.
Plays like that, serving the ball out of bounds, taking the pressure off. One big thing that helps Canada, Steve Timmons, who carries a lot of charisma and scares the heck out of everybody, not staring through the net right now at the Canadians.
Left side, Brousseau. Was there a touch on that? No, it's out. Here comes the United States.
Just creeping and crawling back into this game.
Doug, big play here. Stavertlik. Right side, Hilliard. And Canada recovers. Hilliard, bingo!
Canada in all kinds of trouble right now, and Ivy, Timmons, and all the rest cheering on the subs who are really getting the United States back in this match. Hilliard, only a junior in college out of Long Beach State, one of the best offensive players I've seen come up in years for the U.S.
So number 7 sparking the rally here. The United States within 4. Doug off Sato out of bounds. Give another kill to Gino Brousseau. His 29th.
Brousseau jiving just a little bit with Eric Sato, who was right there chest to chest with him.
Third chance for the game for Canada. And Hilliard again. Brian Ivy holds the all-time NCAA kill record, but Brian Ivy will not have it next year after Hilliard gets through. Samuelson will serve. Partee back in. And the jam, another point. Canada tightening up.
And the footsteps are now a stampede.
You wonder, do you bring Timmins back? I don't think so right now.
No. You don't break up this kind of roll. Leave him right there. Hilliard, Samuelson, all the rest doing just fine.
Brousseau, 30. He has been spectacular.
Bob Samuelson in a good spot defensively, but Brousseau just bringing too much heat.
United States trailed 12-4. The Americans come back to 14-11. Another game point for Canada. Stavertlich. Canada gobbles. They'll get a swing at it. Albert. Yes!
First it was Brousseau, and it's Marc Albert, the cop who carries a big stick on the left side to end game 4.
Oh, Canada. They are back in it. We're tied at 2-2. Fortune in to start game 5 along with Steve Timmins. Canada and the United States tied 2 games apiece. Game 5, speed scoring in international competition, or rally scoring if you like. Marc Albert to serve. Good start, very, very critical here. Oh, and Albert serves it out of bounds, so a freebie to the United States.
Worst start you can imagine if you're Canada. That costs his team a point in speed scoring.
Timmins serving. 1-0 is our score. Out to the left side. United States with a dig. Chance for a point.
Stavertlich from 18 feet and gets the kill. Nice swing on the left side. I still can't believe how different everybody looks, especially Steve Timmins without the trademark flat top. Big problem when he gets home. That flat top is the look of his company, known as Red Sand. Now he's got to change the name to Red Sand Paper.
It certainly is a different look for Timbo. The United States by a point. Russ Paddock serving. Partee is dug. Albert got it, and Canada has tied it up.
Marc Albert redeeming himself after missing a serve early, costing his team a point. Bob Samuelson in a good spot defensively, but can't make the play.
Both the United States and Canada 0-1 in Group A. Timmins bangs one through, his 34th.
In speed scoring, you don't want to miss serves. So you have to make a point of siding out extremely well. That'll score you a point. You really got to block a few balls. You get hot blocking, you win speed scoring games.
Pretty good serve by Stavertlich. Inside. Oh, what a dig by Timmins. And the block. And it's down. Partee in on the play. 4-2 the United States now leads. Stavertlich. Fortune. 5-2. So perhaps a reversal of fortune coming.
Scott Fortune looking for a way to get on a roll. And none better than helping your team out to a substantial lead in the 5th game.
Americans by 3. Brousseau. And Brousseau pounds another one. Kill number 31.
Brousseau's been the man for Canada. They're not in this situation if he doesn't play at this level.
Stork, quick set Partee, blocked out of bounds. A point for the United States.
All of a sudden, under pressure, the United States is passing the ball well after struggling the entire match.
So Doug Partee. United States leads by 3. Gingera and Randy Gingera, the high flyer out of the back line, has kill number 24.
A quiet match for Randy Gingera. He usually accounts for about 60% of the Canadians' offense. Kent Reeves choosing to go to Brousseau.
Stork to Timmins, and Timmins booms it out of bounds. Point to Canada. The points rack up very quickly.
Nothing wrong with that set to Steve Timmins. He bombed it just wide.
Scooping left. And Scott Fortune spikes strikes it. Was there a touch? No. Another point to Canada.
See, Fortune digs his own grave. He shanks the pass, and then no offense is available. High set, and he hits the ball out of bounds.
3 in a row for Canada. Stork, jump. Nice shot. Jeff Stork, left-handed, easy.
Jeff Stork must do that more often. We've talked about how bad the passing has been, but when he gets the opportunity, Stork must dump or hit that ball straight down.
Gingerra, bad set. United States to go to 8.
Fortune. That's a big swing for Scott Fortune. Look at all of his teammates coming over to give him 5. Knows that he's struggled so far in this match.
At 8 points, the two teams in Game 5. Change sides, the Americans going to the right side of the court, and Canada going to the left. We'll be back. Loss to Canada would be devastating. 8-6, the Americans lead by 2 here in Game 5. And a big hit on the left. Mark Albert, the policeman from New Brunswick, Canada.
Carrying a big stick in Game 5 when it counts. He, like Scott Fortune, has struggled throughout the Olympics with his passing, but coming through big on the left side.
Stork going right side, and Fortune is blocked. Timmins, and he's blocked.
We're tied. Timmins had no choice in that situation. Could not get a swing at the ball. It's a joust at the top of the net. He has no look. All he's trying to do is tip and then get somebody to cover. No help.
8-8. And Canada's Bill Knight serves out to give the United States a point. 2 long 5-game matches for the United States in the first 2 rounds. And the poke over the top. Nicely done by Kent Greaves.
That is a phenomenal play by Kent Greaves. No way he should be able to make that play at 6-2 over the big American blockers, but he does.
24-year-old Greaves serving. 9-9. Samuelson, 10-9.
Scott Fortune getting every serve here in the 5th game as he has all match long and so far holding up under the pressure.
And he deserves to. In the earlier games, Fortune in the shank tank, passing very, very poorly, trying to turn it around. Gingerra on the X-play, puts it away. Substitution coming in for Canada now, number 14, Terry Gagnon. He's in for defensive purposes, going out. Mark Albert. So Gagnon is in. A great defensive player.
Just like Japan, this match going right down to the wire in speed scoring in Game 5.
Stork to Samuelson, wide open, and he booms it.
Jeff Stork showing a lot of confidence in Bob Samuelson.
Now Carlos Briseño, number 1, will come in out of the University of Hawaii as a back row sub, a defensive replacement for Samuelson. 11-10, United States. Ball is done. Big play here. Timmins. Crunch it! United States leading by 2 here in Game 5. Gingerra. Yes. Randy Gingerra. His 26th kill. And Canada will have the ball. Is the ball going to Timmins? You bet.
The front row hitters are Parksy and Stavertlick. Timmins out of the back row. Scott Fortune.
Passing well. Left side. Stavertlick. Go. That was Gagnon. Stork. Stavertlick. Another dig by Canada. Left side. And the put away. Bob Samuelson coming back in for the Americans. The Americans 0-1 in Group A. Canada also 0-1.
Remember, their 17-point cap also applies to Game 5. This game goes no farther than 17 points.
Timmins again. Steve Timmins looking to become the first American, the first player ever to win 3 gold medals. And he has to win this game to have that chance. Stavertlick. Gingerra.
Samuelson again not making the play defensively. Good choice by Kent Greaves. You knew it had to go to Randy Gingerra or Gino Brousseau.
We're tied at 13. Americans need a side out for a point. Timmins. It's done. Gagnon. Now it goes through Canada's hands.
Russ Paddock reaching up to set the ball. It goes right through his hands. The ball obviously very wet. Big break for the United States.
The history of Canada is to fold. Sato is in.
Will Fortune hit match point.
This could be it. Sato. The floater. Gingera. Blocked. Outside Brousseau. And Brousseau keeps the Canadians alive. Tied at 14. Mark Albert will return. Brian Ivey dying on the bench.
This game's going no farther than 17.
We must win by 2 unless we get to the said 17. Timmins. And he booms it. Steve Timmins carrying the load as you knew he would. 37 kills for Timmins.
Timmins knows he's getting the ball. So do the Canadians, everybody in the building.
Second, match point. Albert, out of bounds. The United States wins it. So another close shave for the United States. This time against Canada in 5, 16-14.
The Lamborghini Diablo, 202 miles per hour. The Lockheed SR-71.
Month Republican National Convention down in Houston, Texas. Workers at the Astrodome, in fact, started putting down a new floor on Sunday as soon as the Astros ball team left the field. Lots of work, though, to be done to turn this stadium into a convention hall. Thousands of Republicans will hit Houston in just a few weeks. The convention starts on August 17th.
The man they actually call the peacemaker in a gang neighborhood of Los Angeles says goodbye. We'll tell you about that.
Yeah, he's leaving a congregation that is worried now about what will happen next. We'll have that story when we come back. Stay with us.
Channel 4 News is sponsored by Mercedes-Benz, engineered like no other car in the world.
When we told Nike how we could design a communications network to actually help them run better, do you know what they told us?
Seasons, a short film by me, Rocket Ismail. In the regular season, my best moves are the stutter, the juke, and the get even and leave 'em. In the off-season, it's hype house moves like the flaze, the crazy foot, and something I call make stuff up. In the preseason, I drop my dancing shoes and work out hard in my new Reebok preseason trainers. But without the preseason, there could be no victory dances in the fall.
The new preseason shoes are now available at Sports Chalet.
Heard about Chevron's new Pump Match Go game? The word is getting around. With over 5 million instant winners over the next 30 days or so, that adds up to more than one winner every second. You could win one of 31 all-new 1993 Ford Probe GTs, free Chevron gasoline, Armor All Protectant sponge packs, millions of prizes. So stop in and play Chevron's Pump Match Go. Chances are you'll have something to talk about.
What they can show you down there and what we can't show you here, those sexy south-of-the-border soaps on hard copy.
At a special time, Monday at 4. Monday at 6, vibrators. They can do much more than you think. Watch Dr. Dinadel. Plus, the Olympics. Fred Rogan reports from Barcelona. Monday at 6 on Channel 4.
Welcome back. Big show of union solidarity up north on Sunday. Farm workers rallied in Salinas, big agricultural center. They want more money and no more union busting.
The more you take the unions away from them, the more it leads to the workers going out to the streets to do battle with the employees out in the streets, and that's the last thing we want.
Well, those same farm workers say they haven't had a raise now since 1980, when the union negotiated a wage of $6.50 an hour. Colleen?
Is the truce between the LA gang still holding since the riots? Today, some of the Bloods and the Crips around here got together to say yes. Gang members packed the Mount Pilgrim Baptist Church. Reverend Carl Washington called on them to stop the violence and the shooting, and he asked them to keep up the truce they agreed upon 7 months ago. Gang members told the churchgoers that they are, in fact, working for peace. Keeping the peace was Father Gregory Boyle's mission here in Los Angeles, and so today, actually, his flock gave him a tearful goodbye. Joe Rico reports he fought gang violence with prayers, support, and love, saving lives in the process.
This was the long goodbye for Gregory Boyle, and a reluctant farewell among the overflow crowd attending his final mass before he departs on a year-long retreat.
Have you requested to be back here?
Yeah, sure, I've asked to be back here. A ver qué pasa.
Hagan esto en conmemoración mía.
For 6 years, Dolores Mission Catholic Church has been Father Boyle's home. By many standards, it is the poorest Catholic church in the city. But this was Boyle's first choice. There was something about the poverty, the people, and the hardcore Latino gangs that made him commit to the neighborhood. And he paid a price, personally burying 26 homeboys, victims of gang violence. Boyle himself jumped into the middle of a gunfight once and was hit.
This community has never seen you as the enemy, never. You are our sons, and we love you, but gangbanging must stop.
As he moves on, there is fear all the work he's done will unravel. Even during Mass, 2 gangs faced off outside the church yard, and Father G spoke.
You're always asking me favors. I'm going to ask you a tiny, tiny, tiny one. Why don't you come in here?
I want to know your children, and I want to know your grandchildren, and I want to baptize them. And I don't ever want to bury one of our raza again, never.
He made a difference in such short time. No telling how many lives he turned around, how many lives he saved. Odds are he'll return one day soon, but will it be soon enough? Boyle leaves at a time when gang violence is at a record high in Los Angeles County. And as always, Father Greg prays real hard. Joe Rico, Channel 4 News, Boyle Heights.
In other news, that controversial Ice-T song, Cop Killer, touched off a huge protest from all sorts of people coast to coast. Among them, a police officer who has had enough. He's fighting fire with fire.
Now you really flip, G, with the death lyrics on how to kill me.
This is Hawthorne police officer Roosevelt Matthews Jr. recorded his song Role Model as a counter to Ice-T. Matthews says the lyrics warn officers to be on the lookout for Ice-T because he's a negative role model for kids. Matthews hoping it gets a lot of airplay and will send out a positive message. Turn to film now. If you've already seen the big box office biggies, you might wonder what else is out there on the silver screen. Well, that's David Sheehan's department, of course, and he has something that you may think is worth your money.
Well, this seems like a good time to recommend Kisses and Chuckles. After all, by now you have probably seen the summer's big, bombastic blockbusters, so I would like to remind you of some of the smaller pictures that are even bigger entertainments in many ways.
Mater, mater, inter marata.
The musical humor of Whoopi Goldberg and Sister Act is not only the summer's funniest, it is now playing all over town.
There's not a man today who could take me away from my God.
Give him some of that deep shoulder action.
There's not a man today.
Prelude to a Kiss gives you a very kissable sense of romance with a mystical twist to it, and nice performances from Meg Ryan and Alec Baldwin.
Will you marry me? Uh-huh.
A League of Their Own doesn't have many kisses, and its chuckles are sometimes only smiles, but it's a thoroughly entertaining visit with some thoroughly likable ladies.
Give them a league of their own to play. Then stand back and get out of their way.
Honey, I Blew Up the Kid is pure escapist joke-making, but in a big way and with a warm feeling for family values.
You do the hokey pokey,
yeah.
yourself around.
Dance, Adam.
All about that foot in.
Oh, and Eddie Murphy combines kisses and chuckles with some 4- and 5-letter words you might want to be warned about in the very hip and slick romantic comedy Boomerang.
God, Marcus, I was so tense when I got off the plane, but you really relaxed me.
Call me. And if that's not enough, there's good suspense along with good performances in Unlawful Entry and A Stranger Among Us and Patriot Games. I think you can pretty much forget Man Trouble, Cool World, and Universal Soldier. They are various shades of bad. And if you haven't seen Lethal Weapon 3 yet, it is pure summertime banging and crashing fun all the way.
Sister Act.
That was really good. That was one of my favorites, too. Okay, so you're staying at home. You're watching the TV for the Olympics.
Of course.
Paul Johnson has a forecast that will make you want to get outside.
And a little bit later on in this half hour, you may be glad that you're not in Barcelona for the games. We'll tell you why. Coming up.
It's like bumps and potholes don't exist.
Frankly, it's more comfortable than sitting in my living room. The longer you drive it, the more the little things impress you.
Yeah, it's really held on to its value.
When I put my foot on the pedal, it does just what I tell it to do right away.
I think it's easily the most luxury you can get for the money.
There are lots of good reasons to buy a Lexus LS400, and one good reason not to. Lease an LS400 at your Southern California Lexus dealer today. From great moments in history to special, personal moments, one brand of film more than any other captures the full color and richness of life. New Kodak Gold Plus film. True colors. More colors.
We found out that MCI offers a program where we can put one number in for an overseas friend or family and get a 20% discount.
When MCI said you can submit one overseas number, I thought, this is the ticket.
The person at the other end said, did you know that you can add an international number to your friends and family circle? And I'm like, sign me up.
I can get 20% off calling that one number in Japan.
My daughter's going to Europe this summer for 2 months, and I get 20% off on that international call. MCI is a great way to save money.
Channel 4 News is sponsored by American Express Card. Don't leave home without it.
The idea of being spoiled, entertained, and attended to as you sail aboard a majestic cruise ship is not a new one. It only seems that way because today the idea of a cruise has never been more right. The American Express Card, proudly welcomed by fine cruise lines throughout the world.
I love what you do for me, Toyota.
Sure he's singing. His Toyota dealer gave him a great deal on Corolla. Get one, too, during the Love It Toyota sales event. Your Toyota dealer is offering you deals to make you sing. Now is the best time to get Corolla, one of the top 10 models in initial quality. Get up to $1,100 in option package savings, plus factory-to-dealer incentives. So, keep singing. But hurry, sales event ends soon.
I love what you do for me.
Got a deal on the Corolla, huh?
We both did.
I knew that.
All right, Paul Johnson's here with the weather forecast. And get ready, folks. It is going to be hot, huh?
Yeah, especially in the valleys.
So what's new, huh?
By midweek, mid-90s, upper 90s. San Bernardino probably up in 100.
And humid, too, huh?
Beg pardon?
Humid, too?
Yeah. Well, not so bad.
Really?
Humidity not quite so bad. Afternoons worse than the mornings, but not so bad. Let's see what it's like out on Hollywood Boulevard tonight. Kind of a nice night to go out and stroll down the avenue and enjoy the sights. Maybe take in a little dinner or a show. 80 degrees was our high today. We had a little onshore flow that kept the Pacific Sever temperatures down. Low of 68 degrees. Current temperature 67. Relative humidity now 90%. Barometer 30.03 and rising winds out of the west at about 10 miles an hour. Normal highs this time of year, usually about 85, normal lows 65. Now, sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:01 a.m., sunset at 7:58 p.m. It's true, over the next few days, we're going to start to warm up, especially in the inland valleys. That's our AccuWeather forecast. Meanwhile, let's check some of the other parts of the nation that are cooling off. They have had some very cool weather and a cold front that has been moving now down across the southern states, right on up into the northeast and the mid-Atlantic states. Now, that's bringing some showers, some thunder showers, and they have already had some very heavy rain through that area, that ground fairly saturated, so they don't really need any more. Southern portion of this front down around the Tennessee, Mississippi valleys, now that is going to remain fairly stationary, so they will be having some wet weather as well. Out here on the West Coast, it has been warm. In fact, some areas very hot, and it's been dry. Southern California, we have that high-pressure ridge off the coast again, and that's what's keeping our marine layer down, keeps those temperatures up. We have just a little upper-level disturbance, and that's causing a little onshore flow, so temperatures at the Civic Center downtown may reach up into the mid-80s. Out in the valleys, it should be up into the 90s, so this weather will be continuing now pretty much through the rest of the week. And when the temperature starts to rise in the valleys, that means the air quality suffers as well. San Bernardino, Riverside, first stage smog alerts, moderate to unhealthy air elsewhere. We'll check those forecast lows and highs. Lows tonight will be rather pleasant. We'll have temperatures in the low to the mid-60s. Tomorrow we're going to start to cook out in the valleys up into the low to the mid-90s. Along the beaches in the low 70s. Our current forecast calls for skies tonight to be fairly cloudy. Hazy sunshine tomorrow. As we say, the valleys are going to warm up. Let's check that 5-day forecast for you. Tomorrow, downtown, we expect about 86 degrees. The valleys up into the 90s. And we'll really start to warm up to the mid to the upper 90s in the valleys right around Wednesday and Thursday. And that's going to stay with us all week long.
Yeah,
Why change a good thing? You know?
Hazy hot, still hot, and more.
Yeah. That's it. This doesn't stop.
All right, thanks a lot. Coming up next in sports, the long-awaited Olympic debut of the Dream Team. No surprises in Barcelona on that, though.
And at least one Dodger really has not given up this season. Brett Lewis is next. He'll tell us who that is in sports.
Here's Volvo's program to help preserve family values. Any resemblance to political campaign rhetoric is purely coincidental. Now you can lease a new 1992 Volvo for just $295 a month, or buy one with 0% financing. It's not bad, huh? The Volvo Family Values Program, now until July 31st. Call us, 1-800-63-VOLVO.
It's no accident that the land of opportunity is open 24 hours a day. The good life is available, but they don't hand it out on a platter. It's no accident either that Bank of America has longer branch hours, a 24-hour customer service line, and a versatile ATM everywhere you turn around. Hard as America works, you could use a little easy. Banking on America. Bank of America.
Channel 4 Sports is sponsored by Chick Sporting Goods and Snickers Ice Cream.
Seasons, a short film by me, Roger Clemens. In the regular season, I've been known to smear black junk under my eyes and throw caves. You got a problem with that? In the off-season, I strengthen my pitching arm by jamming it into a barrel of rice. You got a problem with that? In the preseason, I work out my Reebok preseason trainers. The special soles give me an unfair advantage. You got a problem with that? Good.
The new preseason shoes are now available at Chick Sporting Goods.
There's a hunger inside of me, growing stronger every day.
Help satisfy that hunger with Snickers Ice Cream Bar. Fresh roasted peanuts, one-of-a-kind taste. It's satisfaction the way only Snickers can make it.
Great stride, kid.
Snickers Ice Cream Bar, official snack food sponsor of the 1992 U.S. Olympic team.
There's a hunger inside you.
Guess I'll be seeing you in 96.
The perfect parents.
Life is not a game.
The perfect kids.
He followed me home.
The perfect family for Mazda Mania 2, the summer's premier sales event. Now get $1,000 cash back from Mazda on a Mazda MPV. Don't miss these gargantuan values.
It's that time.
Don't miss Mazda Mania 2. Get $1,000 cash back on a new Mazda MPV now.
Brett's here with a look at sports, and amazingly enough, we're here to talk about Olympics tonight, huh?
We just thought we'd throw them a curve. I mean, no one would expect they would talk about the Olympics. It's the first full day of competition at the Olympics, and the U.S. is already in the gold column. Fred Rogan reports from Barcelona.
The Dream Team made its much-anticipated Olympic debut in day one of the competition, and it was a very bad dream for Team Angola and their coach, Victorio Cunha. Magic Johnson drew a crowd and then went into his bag of tricks. The no-look pass found a trailing Larry Bird. He buried the three-pointer, and Team USA was on a 32-0 run. Cunha said that NBA players don't play much defense. Not true. Clyde Drexler came up with the block and got it to Scottie Pippen. Pippen found Charles Barkley for the monster jam. Barkley led all scores with 24, and it was ugly for Chuck Daly to watch. In addition to points, Barkley also dished out some elbows. Everything went right for the Americans. Karl Malone whipped the deflection ahead to Magic Johnson, who went behind the head, this time to Michael Jordan. 10 assists for Magic, only 10 points for Jordan, but the Dream Team went on to win and beat Angola 116-48. The Americans got a surprise at the pool from 21-year-old Nelson Diebel. In the 100-meter breaststroke, the New Jersey native was the big surprise. He wasn't expected to make the Olympic team, but he did and made the most of his opportunity as he set an Olympic record by finishing with a time of 1:01.5 and picked up the only American gold medal on the first day of swimming. Summer Sanders began competition in her weakest event, the 400-meter medley. She impressed her cheering family in the stands. In the final, she broke an American record that was held by Janet Evans, but it wasn't enough to pick up the gold. Kristina Egerzewski of Hungary finished first. Lin Li of China picked up the silver. Summer settled for the bronze. Her strongest events are still ahead for her. In boxing, Pepe Riley of Glendale in the red trunks was in a slugfest with Victor Boite of Spain. Unfortunately for Victor, Pepe did most of the slugging, and after a four-punch barrage in the final round, the referee stopped the bout. The Americans in the crowd were happy. Boite didn't like that decision. In gymnastics, Kim Zemeskel was an odds-on favorite to pick up a gold medal in the compulsories, but she fell off the balance beam, and that put a dent in her chances for gold. However, she got back on and scored a 9.35. From Barcelona, Fred Rogan, Channel 4 Sports.
In baseball, lo and behold, the California Angels are making their move. Toward fifth place, sure, but it's a move. And you can just feel the excitement in the stands at the Big A as the Angels host the Tigers. Chill, dude. Tigers catcher Mickey Tettleton has the defensive play of the game. Luis Sojo pops one up in foul territory by the Angels dugout. Tettleton runs it down, makes the catch, falls over the railing. He's okay and got a 9.9 on the balance beam. Julio Valera had a rough outing. Tigers scored 3 in the 6th, leading 2-0. Tony Phillips rips a shot to right that goes off the wall. Gary Pettis scores to make it 3-0 Tigers, but the Angels rally in the 8th, trailing 3-1. Sacks full, 2 outs. Von Hayes hits a 3-2 pitch off Buddy Groom into right field. That clears the bases. Tigers take forever to throw the ball in. Angels score 3 in the 8th to come from behind and win their 3rd straight, 4-3. In Baltimore, Nolan Ryan and the Rangers taking on the Orioles. In the 4th, gets Leo Gomez swinging. 5 strikeouts in the night for the Express. He wins his 5th in a row. Rangers beat the Orioles 6-2. Winners in the American League were Oakland, Seattle, and Minnesota. Cleveland won in overtime. The Brewers pounded the White Sox. In Montreal, Dodger manager Tommy Lasorda didn't want to go through the agony of watching his team play defense again, so he got kicked out in the 1st inning. That woke up the Dodgers for a while, leading 1-0 in the 4th. Eric Karros rips this Brian Barnes pitch deep to left for a solo home run, his 13th of the season. Dodgers lead it 2-0. But no lead is safe with the Dodger bullpen. 9th inning, leading 3-2. Steve Wilson pitching to Delino to Shields hits a double past Karros. Wilfred Cordero scores to tie the game at 3. Next batter, Brett Barbary. He pops it to shallow right. Stop me if you've heard this one before. 2 Dodgers go after it, Karros and Mitch Webster. But, oh, what a surprise. They couldn't get it. The Shields comes in to score the winning run. Dodgers are swept by the Expos 4-3. They have now lost 5 straight. It was Cheap Hat Day in New York as the Mets were hosting the Padres. Bottom of the 9th, Mets trailing 1-0. 2 outs. Dave Magadan line drive, but Darren Jackson saves the game with a great catch. Padres hold on for a 1-0 victory. Pittsburgh breaks Atlanta's 13-game winning streak. I say Pittsburgh breaks Atlanta's 13-game winning streak. Cubs win, Cubs win. Reds are a game behind the Braves. Philadelphia wins. In golf, Brad Faxon won the $1 million New England Classic. Jim Dent took the Newport Senior Cup. At the U.S. Women's Open, this is Julie Inkster. She had a 2-stroke lead for most of the day over her buddy Patty Sheehan, thanks to birdie putts like this one. But after the rains caused an hour and 45-minute delay, Sheehan comes back, sinks 2 straight birdies on 17 and 18 to tie Inkster in regulation. They both finish at 2 under. They'll play in an 18-hole playoff at 8 a.m. our time this morning. No surprise at the Tour de France. Miguel Indurain of Spain, the overall leader throughout most of the race, won his 2nd straight title Sunday. Indurain finished 21st in the final stage. Claudio Chiappucci of Italy was 2nd. American Andy Hemston finished 4th. After the race, Indurain says no question he'll be back next year to try for a 3-peat. And here is the shock of the day. Running back Robert Del Pino reported to Rams camp Sunday, meaning the team that usually leads the league in holdouts only has 2 right now. Rookie Steve Israel and safety Michael Stewart. You can't depend on anybody anymore.
Things are changing
We
everywhere.
thought we knew the Rams, and here they go signing people. What is it coming to?
Amazing, huh? Thanks, Brett. Sure. Well, needless to say, we're glad you're staying up with us at this hour. We're also glad that you're watching the Olympics here on Channel 4.
And coming up, you'll certainly be glad you're not spending money in Barcelona.
Red Carpet Leasing presents the Safe Lease on Lincoln Continental with standard airbag supplemental restraint systems for both driver and right front passenger, plus anti-lock brakes and a low monthly payment of just $3.99 a month with a Ford Credit Red Carpet Lease. It's the Safe Lease with a safety combination unequaled by any other American luxury car. See your Lincoln Mercury dealer today for his payment and terms.
Monday on the Olympics Triplecast, call your local cable operator to order an Olympic day to remember. See uninterrupted coverage of the women's breaststroke and the men's butterfly, and its round-by-round coverage of the U.S. boxing team's bid for glory. Then, you've got a front-row seat for non-stop men's gymnastics and women's platform diving. Plus, scout the best of the rest as the world tunes up to face the Dream Team. Order Monday's Olympics Triplecast for only $29.95. Call now.
This romance novel model is being paid big bucks to write, and authors are up in arms. The inside story on Entertainment Tonight.
At a special time tomorrow at 4:30.
The goal was to create a flight of international quality, to offer the choice of 3 separate cabins, the comfort of handcrafted leather seats, and the cuisine of the world's finest chefs. Everything you'd expect from an international flight, except this flight never leaves the country. American Airlines International Service to New York. Discover a spacious business class with wide leather seats and internationally acclaimed wines. A first class with individual video units and sumptuous sleeper seats. And in all 3 classes, the unmistakable style and comfort of an international flight. American Airlines superb service from Los Angeles to New York's JFK, where 9 times every business day, coast-to-coast travel rises to an international level.
In the world of luxury automobiles, you expect aerodynamic styling. A beautifully crafted, leather-trimmed interior, the uncompromising safety of drivers and passenger side airbags, and the superior performance of a 24-valve engine. You just don't expect it to be so affordable. The Acura Luxury Lease Program. It's more than a lease. It's a legend.
Certainly a car lover's dream in Beverly Hills today, and we're not talking about wide-open freeways. These cars right here were all parked, ready for your viewing pleasure. This is the 12th annual Beverly Hills Charity Car Show. Look at this one. This is Rick's favorite. Celebrating the return to the hot rod. Custom cars, antiques, all on display this afternoon. Organizers say the show featured more than 300 vintage autos and motorcycles, and they are hoping the show raises $10,000 for various local charities. Rick?
I like the one with the flames.
I think you like them all.
We want to thank you for spending your afternoons, your evenings, part of your mornings with us and with the Olympics. Your pocketbook probably thanks you too. Barcelona is many things, but certainly it is not cheap. At least that's the word from NBC's Pat Collins, who discovered that the hard way at the Olympic beat.
There's a Kodak moment everywhere you look in Barcelona. But if you want to get those pictures developed, it'll cost you about $30 a roll. The city is loaded with old world charm, but the prices are definitely new age. A Big Mac, fries, and a Coke cost more than $7. A room at an air-conditioned hotel, more than $300 a night. A gallon of gas is over $4. Now, you expect to pay more when you're in Europe. But I never expected this. There I was in the Plaza Catalunya. It was the middle of the afternoon. Chairs to the left of me, to the right of me, in front of me, behind me. I just wanted to sit down. And that's when I encountered the cobrador. In Spanish, that means the guy who takes the money.
40 pesetas just to sit in the chair? Well, here, hey.
You see, it costs about 45 cents just to park yourself in this park. And the cobrador watches like a hawk to make sure everyone pays the toll. Needless to say, this is not an idea that sits well with Americans here for the Olympics.
This is a crime. This is definitely not a free country.
Well, we've been paying to go to the bathroom in the past 8 countries, so we pay to do just about everything here.
I'm Pat Collins, Channel 4 News.
That's it for us. Now back to Barcelona.
See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
The dream for Steve Timmons, 33 years old, and the rest of the United States men's volleyball team is an unprecedented third straight Olympic gold medal. A rebuilt American team again reaches for the top, and it begins against Japan.
The Dream Team made its Olympic debut, and we'll talk with the mailman, Carl Malone.
Most people dream at night, but Barcelonans have other ideas. We'll take you out for a night on the Olympic City. After 60 years of waiting, the Olympics arrive in Barcelona. The Pala Nacional, right outside our late-night studio, crowned with lights, filled with residents and visitors after a sensational start for the games of the 25th Olympiad. Hi, I'm Jim Lampley.
And I'm Hannah Storm.
And we welcome you to the debut of our Olympic late-night show, originating here in the rock-walled studio we call Club Barcelona.
Indeed we do, because it looks so much like the high-tech discos around this city, but more on that in just a few moments. We'll be here at Club Barcelona over the next 14 nights with continuing late-night coverage of the games of the 25th Olympiad from this truly magical city.
Every night during these games, we'll have competition and event coverage from the Olympics, giving you a taste of everything on this show. Medal races from boxing to volleyball, a look back at Olympics past, and as befits the late-night mood of a city where people begin their evenings around midnight, we'll try to capture some of Barcelona's famed nightlife.
And we will begin our night with the U.S. men's volleyball team in their opening game of the Olympics against Japan. And the U.S. men won gold in 1984. They won gold again in 1988, and now they are trying to become the first team ever to win 3 straight Olympic golds.
But these Americans are without their ace player from 84 and 88, Karch Kiraly, retired from the national team, now playing beach volleyball. Steve Timmons, however, and his famous flat-top haircut are back.
So let's check in on the American team now and go to volleyball with Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland. The U.S. beat Japan 15-8 in the first game. Here they are with the call in Game 2.
The Palau de Sports, the site of the volleyball competition. Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland. Seiji Oko, the coach of Japan, has his team pumped up. The United States won game 1 15-8. However, Japan has climbed back here and now leads 12-10.
United States came out very, very quickly, playing crisp volleyball, blocking the ball well, but Japan's gotten right back in this match, and Seiji Oko made a couple of key substitutions, really turned it around.
Blocked. Stavertlik blocked again by the setter, Matsuda. He is only 5'10",
but playing much bigger. The player next to him is a full foot taller. Otake at 6'10", but Matsuda doing a great job getting up and over.
Shigeru Aoyama serves into the net. Game 2 action, the first day of volleyball competition. Japan in black, the United States in white. Bob Stavertlik out of Long Beach serving. Ace!
Tough serve by Stavertlik. You know, Chris, the jump serving becomes so popular and so powerful throughout the world, but here the floater. The ball just drops right off the table.
United States within 2. USA led early 8-4. Japan scored 6 in a row. Out to the left side, Kawano. He is done. Timmons. No!
That's the D set in transition to Steve Timmons. Doug Partee with a super defensive play. Timmons making the unforced error into the net.
So Japan to put the ball back into play. Hideyuki Otake to serve as Masayuki Uzumikawa comes into the front line for blocking purposes. Good pass, Fortune, back set, Ivy. Oh, spectacular dig by Japan. Japan considered the best digging and passing team in the world. Ivy again.
Knucklers ablaze in Japan, just digging everything right now.
And Otake puts it away.
It's exactly what's gotten Japan back in this match. Aoyama out on the outside. Steve Timmons unable to side out consistently for the United States, along with Brian Ivy in the middle.
First game point for Japan. Timmons thunders it through. Timmons now with 25 kills. Japan, their setter, Matsuda, has been brilliant. Former USC star Brian Ivy to serve. Keep in mind the United States leads the match 1-0, but the Americans trailing here in game 2. Another quick set put away.
Another perfect pass. Matsuda, the Japanese setter, not having to move at all. Chase down errant passes. Quick combinations in the middle. Fast sets to the outside.
Second game point for Japan. Stork. Fortune. He's dunked. Japan to Nakagaichi. Yes! And Brian Ivy's hurt. Brian Ivy at the end of the court is hurt.
Nakagaichi with the kill. I didn't see Ivy try to make a play.
I didn't either.
He was hurt prior to that, and now the trainer coming out and checking his right knee. Young superstar out of USC, been a starter on the national team for a couple of years.
Oh, it's his knee. It's his right knee. I thought it might be his ankle.
If this is a serious injury, it would be a huge blow to the United States' chances of once again winning the Olympic championship. Brian Ivy carries a tremendous offensive load.
Well, he's getting up. Let's take a look. I didn't see him do it. Now here he's wiping the floor.
Just doing a little house cleaning and goes to stand up.
My
that
God.
just looks like a cramp to me, Chris, as he straightens up, but unable to put any weight at all on his right leg.
So the young American superstar Brian Ivy is out. United States and Japan tied 1 game apiece.
Okay, so we were having a good time after work when this older guy walks up and orders a Bud.
Give me a Budweiser.
One could have been a coincidence.
Yeah, but then... Budweiser. Budweiser. Budweiser.
Whoa, think about it.
We like Bud, they like Bud.
Yeah, could it be we're really more alike than we thought?
Oh, young.
Obviously, this was going to require further study.
To learn.
Car and Driver has named it to its 10 best list 4 years in a row. Now, there's a Mitsubishi Eclipse you can lease for just $500 down and as little as $149 a month. But hurry, this Eclipse will soon disappear. Mitsubishi, the word is getting around.
If potato chips are gonna cross your lips, keep them fresh, make them fine all the time. That's Pringles, not the Pringles. Not like chips in a bag, they don't stay fresh. It's a brag. Candles bagged with buster pieces, get your hands full of greases. We've got whole crunchy chips, clean and crispy to your lips. Pringles, pop the Pringles. Go for fresh because Pringles got them. Fresh, pop right to the bottom. Once you pop, you can't stop.
What's bright red, feather light, and comes with an extra long cord? Guess again, it's the Dirt Devil Hand Vac. That powerful revolving brush cleans it all, from pet hair and dirt to stairs, cars, and little messes. So get the Dirt Devil Hand Vac and lighten up.
When you've got a tough case of athlete's foot, the itching, the cracking, the burning, you want a medicine that acts tough. Tough Actin Tenactin.
Clinically proven Tenactin cures even the tough cases of athlete's foot fungus. Get Tough Actin Tenactin.
The games of the 25th Olympiad are brought to you by Tylenol PM,
so you can rest easy. By Budweiser, the king of beers and proud sponsor of the U.S. Olympic team. And by Kellogg's, proud sponsor of our 1992 U.S. Olympic team.
For USA youngster Brian Ivy, it could be a very short Olympic Games. Injured in Game 2, and it doesn't appear, Paul, that he's going to come back.
Well, the thing that concerns me is that Ivy has yet to put any weight on that leg, and right now he's thinking, I've worked for years, I've focused on this, and now I might be losing out on the Olympic Games, and taking his place, a very noticeable player, Bob Samuelson. An excellent player for the United States, but a notch below Brian Ivy.
So here we go, start of Game 3. Japan is revved up, and the United States comes out with a shank pass, a horrible set. Japan has the dig. Be interesting to see how the United States plays with Samuelson in there. Is that a dig? Yes. Left side Nakagaichi, and the Americans are into the net, so Japan gets a point.
Japan just storming, and Bob Samuelson going to try to turn things around quickly. The Japanese are playing the kind of defense they did years ago when they won the gold medal.
Stork going right to Fortune, and Scott Fortune puts it away, his 11th kill. Of course, Fortune, the man replacing Karch Karai. At least in that spot, nobody can replace Karch.
Couple of keys for the United States. Must serve tougher. Jeff Stork has a difficult serve, and got to start blocking some balls.
Down the line, once again, Yuichi Nakagaichi. 2 years ago, he had 59 kills in a World League match, an all-time record. He is a superstar. 24 kills so far in this one, as Kawano serves. Left side, Samuelson booms it. Bob Samuelson, born in 1966 in Port Jefferson, New York. Now lives in Marina del Rey.
Samuelson is not bashful, and Jeff Stork has all the confidence in the world in going to him right at the beginning of this game, try to get him established.
Ball is popped up. USA. And off the block. Tapping is Bob Stavertling. So the United States and Japan tied up here 1-1 at the start of Game 3. Glad you're with us. Nakagaichi is blocked, and Bob Samuelson gets his first stop block. He is particularly effective against Nakagaichi.
He loves Nakagaichi. In the World Cup, the United States trailing Japan, Samuelson came in and stuffed Nakagaichi 6 straight times. A little controversy here.
They continue to work on Ivy. Ice pack. That is not the signal that Ivy is ready to come back in. He is done, at least for this match. The report we get, strained knee ligaments. They'll take him back to the village and x-ray him tonight. 2-1 USA. Nice dig. Shoveled over. Japan on the attack. Quick set. Boom! Nicely done by Tatsuya Ueda.
Ueda, the captain of the team, came in at the beginning of Game 2 when Japan was struggling and really smoothed things over for the Japanese.
Back set. Samuelson is dug. Japan, spectacular defenders, aren't they?
Aoyama on the outside, kill number 18. He's only 6'2", challenging the much bigger American blockers. The Japanese just on a roll, volleyball game, so much of momentum.
2-2, Game 3. Samuelson with the drive. Bob Samuelson, you might be wondering about his bald head. The result of a skin disease called alopecia. As an 18-year-old freshman in college, his hair started to fall out. He was left with patches, didn't like the look of patches, so he decided to get a big razor and shave it off. And now he has karma.
Really sort of hid inside his shell when he had the patched look, but now bald is beautiful, and everyone around the world knows the two most famous heads, and the United States has them both. Steve Timmons with a flat top and Bob Samuelson with a slick look.
Seiji Oko, the masterful coach of Japan. Taller front line with Hideyuki Otake up there. He's 6'10" in the front line. 3-2 Japan. Timmons blocked. Otake was there.
Good matchup. Aoyama with Otake in the middle. Steve Timmons hitting his favorite red set. Going at Aoyama down the line, avoiding Otake. But Timmons getting stuck.
Aoyama has been spectacular so far. It's 4-2 Japan, and the United States is in disarray. Stvertlik is dug. Chance to go to 5-2. Nakagaichi got it!
Out of the back row, they're going to Nakagaichi every time for points. And he is really the prototype that Seiji Oko established years ago. Oko may be the greatest outside hitter in Japanese volleyball history.
The United States takes timeout. 4 straight points for Japan.
Tonight in Bay Point, Maine, it's beef bourguignon. In Malibu, it's sirloin kebabs. You'll find beef fajitas at the Four Fork Ranch. And Kung Pao beef in Chinatown. In New Orleans, it's Creole pepper steak. And beef braciola in the north end of Boston. There's a great corned beef sandwich at 7th and 55th. And in Chicago, a porterhouse steak, the perfect medium rare. At the end of each day, all over the country, nothing satisfies so many people in so many ways. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
There is nothing in our candidate's past that will prevent him from moving forward. Quickly!
Oh, he looked scarier 25 years ago.
Did I?
You looked scared.
I don't know. I thought I hit it well for an innocent girl.
You were innocent for the 60s.
Any regrets?
None. You?
Just one.
What?
That I waited 25 years to give you this.
The 25th anniversary diamond, a brilliant celebration of the loving marriage.
I've got goosebumps.
Well, you've given me goosebumps for 25 years.
And unlike many of his colleagues, our candidate would not be bought. He will be leased.
Second match of the Olympic volleyball competition, Japan and the United States in Group A. You look at the first pool, the United States, Canada, France, Italy, Japan, and Spain. And Paul, the United States thought it had a pretty easy pool there.
Well, they did, until they forgot to tell the Japanese, who've been playing inspired volleyball throughout the course of this match, particularly defensively, passing the ball perfectly and siding out. The United States have counted on their blocking to score. They're just not getting the job done with it.
5-2 Japan, leading here in Game 3. Samuelson, Stork, Timmons got it. So Steve Timmons trying to generate a little enthusiasm for the United States, who have stalled.
And there are the young proteges in the bullpen, and Steve Timmons has been the emotional leader of this team, along with Karch Kirai for years and years, and now he's having to try to do it on his own.
Japan, left side, kaboom, it's dug. Timmons, no. Second time, Steve Timmons trying to convert on the right side. In transition, he could not.
Made a great dig defensively. The ball set 14, 15 feet back. Just hit it too flat, too low.
Aoyama with the serve and the quick set. The very steady Doug Partee, his 5th kill.
Not getting the ball enough in the middle because the United States not passing well enough to Jeff Stork.
Seiji Oko on the greatest Japanese volleyball team of all time, the 1972 gold medal squad. Left side. There's a block. And it's Samuelson on Nakagaichi.
I'll tell you, when Samuelson blocks you, he lets you know it, and he's an impossible person to forget. That's, again, the same matchup that turned it around, Samuelson over Nakagaichi at the World Cup in Japan.
Out of the pipe, ball is dug nicely in the backcourt, but Fortune sprays it out of bounds. Only the second hitting error for Scott Fortune. He has 13 kills so far, so doing a good job. 5-4, Japan by a point. Boy, the United States shanking the ball all over the place. There's another
pass, one good pass, one bad pass. That's not how you get into a good side-out rhythm with confidence. Jeff Stork really groping right now. Who's the hot hitter?
They're tied at 1 game apiece. Stork. And off the top, out of bounds. The United States once again will get possession.
Every time the United States is in trouble or Jeff Stork absolutely has it to have a side out, that's where he's going, to Steve Timmons.
Nakagaichi off Timmons that time. So Nakagaichi, number 3, he is the Steve Timmons of Japan. He gets the meat.
27 kills. He's going to account for about 60% of Japan's offense.
Pretty good dig by Japan. And Nakagaichi, did he get in touch? Yes, he did.
That's off the block down the line. And again, the Japanese looking for Nakagaichi as the United States looks for Timmons. 59 kills, an international record for Nakagaichi. He had knee surgery in April, had an arthroscopy, and there were a lot of doubts coming into this tournament if he would have the stamina to put up those kind of numbers.
The United States not in sync. They have not been since Brian Ivey went out at the end of game 2 with a knee injury. 4 serving 7. And Nakagaichi toying with the Americans right now.
Looks automatic. The United States is trying to get good blocking matchups, but they're not taking away a shot. Nakagaichi's just going up and ripping. You got to move the block inside cross court.
23-year-old Shigeru Aoyama serving. Party is dug. Japan on the attack, and they put it away. 8-4.
This time Kawano on the left side, and Matsuda doing an excellent job for Japan, drawing the American blockers in and spreading them back out.
Japan has surprised a lot of people so far in this match. Not expected to do well against the United States, and yet battling even right now.
The Japanese have not won a game, let alone a match, from the United States this year. They've played twice, both matches 3-0, 3-0 to the United States.
That was Katsumi Kawano, 6'2", from Oita, Japan. He gets in the kill department, and a very confident Japanese bench at the moment. 4-point lead for the Japanese. Fortune blocked, and the Americans shoveling it over. Nakagaichi for Emperor. The United States in trouble right now. Game 3, it is 9-4 Japan.
When we come back, it's hip, it's hot, it's Barcelona 92.
Yes, the Tonight Show will be back Monday right after the Olympics. Yes, sir. Clint Eastwood will be on. Music will be the B-52. The Neville brothers will also be joining us. Yes, please, gentlemen, no more pictures, okay? Thank you. Paula Poundstone's going to be on, too. Whew, tell you, these press conferences are murder, aren't they?
The Tonight Show will return after the Olympics.
A dragon with horns. It's a blue whale and with wings that's buried in the ocean with no ears. A dog, a snake, a beautiful...
The new Isuzu Trooper has been completely redesigned to include a sunroof as large as a child's imagination.
Angel.
The father of the sculptor was a steel worker. The mother of the writer can't read English. The man who owns the restaurant used to wash the dishes there. And the son of a farmer now turns corn into fuel. As long as Americans believe there's nothing they can't do, we'll keep helping them do it. Banking on America. Bank of America.
I've been a Lucky shopper for about 10 years. I took my shopping list to Lucky's and used their advertised specials and their key buys. Then I bought the same items at Vons. Even though I shopped Lucky's first, with the double coupons, Vons was cheaper.
This week at Vaughn's, Taster's Choice coffee is only $5.29 for 7 ounces in assorted varieties, and Ocean Spray cocktail juices are only $2.39 for the economical 48-ounce size.
I'm going to become a Vons shopper. I'd be a fool not to.
When you don't have to send your package overnight, you can save yourself a bundle.
What a difference a day makes.
2-day priority mail service
24 little hours.
from your post office. Send up to £2
in just 2 days for just 2 nights. That's right. That's some difference.
What a difference a day makes. We deliver for you.
Barcelona rocks. City where night crawlers of all descriptions abound, including this abstract expressionist lobster. We call him Larry Langosta. He's out there. He's in here, too, watching our every move.
Yes, we call him the Langosta.
With the mosta.
As you can tell, we're getting a little bit punchy as they are over at the Palau de Sports, where Japan has delivered a knockout punch to the USA in the third game. Now the Americans, a surprisingly a tough match they're having. They trail Japan 2-1, and we're going to get back to that in just a few minutes.
But first, we want to give you a sense of where our late-night Club Barcelona studio fits into the scheme of things here at the Olympics. We are at the foot of Montjuic, where the opening ceremony took place Saturday night.
And Montjuic is really at the heart of these Olympic Games. They call the sports facilities at the top of the hill the Olympic Ring. It's a spectacular park in a spectacular city. And in this city, every day around sundown, Barcelonans dress up and hit the town. Faith Daniels checked out the nightlife around Barcelona. Barcelona is known for its beautiful sights and for its nightlife.
From rock to hip-hop, Barcelona After Dark easily rivals New York and L.A. But for a place known for its nightlife, it's after 9 o'clock and the restaurants are virtually empty. That's because around here, people don't go to the restaurants until at least 10. And the bars until even later. But once they get there, they put the bar in Barcelona. They have a phrase here to describe their approach to bar hopping, marcha.
Marcha means like you've got to go for it, you know, like have a really good time and just go wild and just like not care about anything. Marcha. Everybody's happy.
English is impossible in Spanish decir con niñas tan guapas como tú puedes ver. I mean, we like a lot dancing in the night and going out until the morning comes.
Every people going outside at night and having a good time. This is marcha.
It's hard to put it into words, but basically, it's one drink, then on to the next place. And they have plenty of places to marcha. 5,000 bars, roughly 17.3 per block. And on an average night, an average Catalan may hit 6 or more bars before hitting the discos. This one is empty during happy hour, which of course is from 11 to 2 a.m. But by 3... Marcha. And before they can even yawn, it's back home, believe it or not, to get ready for work.
I'm here on Las Ramblas, which really goes 24 hours a day, but that can pretty much be said of all of Barcelona. There's no break in the action from the time the discos close and rush hour begins. I started asking people, you know, how do you do it? Don't you need to sleep?
And the only answer I could get that seemed to make any sense was, that's why we make our coffee so strong. So, Hannah, tomorrow morning when you have that cup of coffee, that first cup of coffee, and it looks like syrup and it's so strong, now you know there's a reason for it in Barcelona.
Thanks, Faith, although I think Faith might need some of that coffee after all the research she's been doing in the local discos here.
Certainly not me. You could knock me over with a feather. I didn't know a thing about this, and I'm wondering why you didn't tell me about the nightlife in Barcelona.
Jim? We understood that you had given Faith directions to all of those nightclubs. Don't even try to dupe our audience.
Give our viewers directions to where we're going next.
When we come back, we'll send you to the USA-Japan volleyball match from the Palau de Sports.
Start packing, Lou, my old spaghetti stain.
You can't get rid of me.
Today I got something new. Carpet Science. It wipes out stains, even old stains like you.
No.
New Carpet Science from Ocedar. It even sends old stains to stain heaven.
How active are you? Theragran M has more vitamin B1, B2, and C than other leading brands. Theragran M, the complete multivitamin for active people.
All right, gentlemen, today is the first day of basketball. Odd 27 or 28 guys for 12 positions.
Get it up, nice and easy.
I assume you think you can play basketball.
A coach can put you on the team. Your teammates can make you hustle. A scout can get you a scholarship, and the right school can get you on the team.
Williams.
But only the love can make you a player.
Marcus.
You got the love.
Coleman. Pugh. Thomas.
Tastes like a beer, 'cause it should, 'cause it's brewed like a beer. Of course it's good. Working out or working late, when you're thirsting for a break, let's be perfectly clear. It's what beer drinkers drink when they're not drinking beer.
O'Doul's, the brew from Anheuser-Busch, with the alcohol naturally removed for real beer taste and only 70 calories.
Anytime, anywhere, it's what beer drinkers drink when they're not drinking beer. O'Doul's.
All over the world, they've been preparing for Barcelona. Developing strength. Defining perfect form. It has to be flawless, because this is no ordinary competition. And these are no ordinary stamps. These are the 1992 Olympic Summer Games commemoratives. Stamps worth saving at your post office now.
Has breakfast come to this? You want your kids to eat a nutritious cereal. They want something fun to eat. So give them Kellogg's Rice Krispies. It's fat-free. It's low in sugar. And best of all, kids love it. Kellogg's Rice Krispies. Sound nutrition without the showdown.
A rock and roll reminder that you are indeed in Club Barcelona.
The right mood for this town, isn't it? And we
bet.
take you back to volleyball, where at the Palau de Sports, the U.S. volleyball team is in deep trouble, having lost one of its stars, Brian Ivey, to a knee injury, having dropped Game 3 to the Japanese. The Americans find themselves down 2-1 in the best-of-5 match. We rejoin Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland with the U.S. and Japan knotted up late in Game 4.
11-all. Japan and the United States. Another kill for Japan, the 12th for Hideyoki Otake.
Fred Sturm looks like the most relaxed person in the house and trying to find a way to pull his team out of trouble. This would be a big victory for Japan, maybe the biggest in the last 20 years and the biggest defeat for the United States in possibly Olympic history.
Here comes Nakagaichi. He's blocked by Samuelson. So Bob Samuelson, he has 5 stuffs and he is into it. Got to be careful just a bit. He did get a yellow card earlier in the match. So Samuelson will serve, still tied at 11.
Samuelson not jump serving, and he has one of the best on the U.S. team.
Transfer point here. United States to take the lead. And they get it. Doug Partee gets the kill.
Partee playing out of position on the right side, but Fred Sturm trying to find any way he can to get a matchup to gain some momentum.
Why is Samuelson jump serving?
Got to have it. The Japanese are passing this ball and siding out with no problem at all. Aoyama on the outside at 6'2", just bombing away at the bigger American.
United States leading by 1. That's a fly on Samuelson's head.
It's not a patch. It's not a patch. He's not getting regrowth.
Boom! Timmons puts one through. His 42nd. And the big redhead will go back to serve. So Timmons in the United States leading 12-11, but trailing in the match 2-1.
Without Brian Ivy, Steve Timmons once again is going to have to carry a huge offensive load. He's coming through.
Gatsumi Kawano puts one through. Now a substitution for Japan. Masafumi Oura is in. He is 6'1", 182 pounds, out of Nagasaki. And going out is the bid man, Otake. So Oura is in for defense. Otake gets a rest.
As if they needed another digger out on the floor. Everything the United States hits right now is coming back.
Stork Samuelson out of bounds. Did he get a touch? No. So Japan ties it up at 12.
Coming back or going. Japan getting a break here on the pipe set to Bob Samuelson up the middle. Hits the ball long.
Stork, Timmons, and that's out of bounds. So Steve Timmons gives the ball back to the United States.
Late stages of the match, watch more and more for Jeff Stork to go primarily to Steve Timmons.
Bob Stavertlich, the NCAA Player of the Year while at Pepperdine University back in '85. Gold medal in '88. Experience, a veteran. Little slam dink. What a match he has played. Akihiko Matsuda likes to golf in his off days and hit a hole-in-one on that one.
Yeah, instead of carving up the course, he's carving up the United States right here. He's done such a good job of moving the ball around. He's starting to create his own opportunity.
12-12. Fortune. So Scott Fortune pounding down the line, and the United States once again has it. 2-1. Japan leading as super sub. Eric Sato comes in. He replaces Doug Partee in the back line. Sato, of course, you remember, served the final point in the 1988 Olympic Games. Hair a little longer then. Japan blocked up. Good play. Fortune. Not yet. 12-12. Stork. Yes.
You know, we haven't seen that very much from Jeff Stork, and that's one of the big weapons for the United States. He's left-handed, maybe the best hitting setter ever to play the position. United States takes the lead, 13-12, only Stork's third kill.
Nakagaichi tooling off Stork on the left side. Nakagaichi now with 30, make that 44 kills. Aoyama serving. Japan trailing the United States by 1. Another dig. Set it to Stavertlich, and he's dug. Japan won't let it fall. Nakagaichi got it! Oh my, Japan is pumped.
Here's the game for Japan right now. Just give up everything, get to the ball, set it somewhere high, middle, somewhere, and Nakagaichi will put the ball away.
13-13. Samuelson dinks. Japan all over it. To go to 14. Did he get it? He did.
That ball's in down the line. Nakagaichi doing it, and Seiji Oko looking pretty composed as they move towards match point.
Match point number 1 right here. Japan can wrap it up. And Aoyama said, yeah, I'll serve it. Yeah, I will. So Japan with a chance here. What an upset this would be.
Wait a minute, Chris. Look at this. The referee has just given the United States a yellow card, and if that's on Bob Samuelson, the United States in big trouble.
That's Bob Samuelson's second yellow card in this game. That's a point for Japan. This match is over, and the Brazilian umpire is going to tell the referee that exact thing right now. That's 2. That should be a point. Let's listen.
Another set. Second set, he had yellow card. Now no.
Not this set. They're lobbing. That's wrong. They're making a mistake here.
The yellow card was on Bob Samuelson. He had one earlier. That should be his second. It's an automatic red card. The match should be over.
So Japan serving. The score remains 14-13. and the United States going to get a side out. So Steve Timmons in the United States, new life. The Americans have the ball. The officials, we think, made an error, but it doesn't make any difference. They play on 14-13 Japan.
In the world of luxury automobiles, you expect aerodynamic styling. A beautifully crafted, leather-trimmed interior, the uncompromising safety of drivers and passenger side airbags, and the superior performance of a 24-valve engine. You just don't expect it to be so affordable. The Acura Luxury Lease Program. It's more than a lease. It's a legend.
There's no guarantee that two heads are better than one, that diamonds are a girl's best friend, or that practice makes perfect. But there's one guarantee you can always count on, the new McDonald's guarantee. Our promise of hot food, fast, friendly service, and drive-through orders double-checked to be right. If not, we'll make it right, or your next meal is on us. What you want is what you get. Some things in life are guaranteed.
2 a.m., 36 Pine Street. Apartment 4C has a backache and can't sleep. 3C overdid her afternoon workout and is paying the price. 2C had an aching back, but fortunately, she also has Tylenol PM, with extra-strength Tylenol pain reliever, plus a gentle ingredient to help her sleep. And a good night's sleep was all she needed to make her day a whole lot brighter. Tylenol PM, so you can rest easy.
It's deep down. I've got a thirst, I gotta quench it. I've got a thirst, I gotta drench it. That deep down fire thirst.
Nothing quenches your thirst and puts back fluids and minerals better than Gatorade.
The games of the 25th Olympiad are brought to you by M&M's Chocolate Candies. The milk chocolate melts in your mouth, not in your hand. And by the Beef Industry Council and Beef Board. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
The United States, quite a record in Olympic competition. Last loss, 3-0 to Brazil. Paul and I were there. But right now, Japan has a great chance to knock off the United States and spring the first big upset. United States in white, Japan in black. And the ball put away left side, Doug Partee.
Partee hasn't been getting enough action, and Fred Sturm pointing traffic signals out there. I want the blockers in these positions. Partee hitting on the left and usually hits in the middle.
American fans rejuvenated, 14-14. Nakagaichi off the hands of Partee. So Japan gets the side out.
48 kills for Nakagaichi. Nobody except for Bob Samuelson, and only for a brief period, has been able to slow him down.
Jeff Stork. Samuelson, the timing not there. Otake. And Nakagaichi does it again. 15-14 Japan.
Just set him every time. Japan sprawling, playing good defense. Matsuda with a perfect back row set. Very little room down the sideline outside Bob Stavertler.
If there is a Buddha, Japan will win this match.
It's shining on Nakagaichi.
This could be it right here.
This could end it.
No, no, no. Unable to convert Aoyama into the net. Tough chance for him as the United States has it. 15-14. Japan by a point. Keep in mind there's a 17-point cap in Olympic competition on all games. Back set. Nakagaichi. Americans have it. Fortune. Yes!
Brian Ivey missing since game 2. Scott Fortune lifting the offensive load right here. Ivey'd love to be in the match.
Now an interesting substitution. Carlos Briseño is in, the kid out of the University of Hawaii, and Jeff Stork is out. So the Americans now playing with no setter in the game. Briseño in to block a ball. Tied at 15, ball is dug. Japan, another chance. Nakagaichi out of bounds. Nakagaichi may be out of gas. He has hit so many balls. The United States now 16 to 15.
He's getting every swing. Eric Sato, Jeff Stork, unusually on the bench right now.
First game point for the United States. USA with a dig. Briseño, back row, Timmons. And he's over. He is over the 10-foot line.
No, I don't think so. Briseño with a gutty set. Watch Timmons' left foot.
He's behind
He's
it.
good the whole way. This is a horrible call right in front of the referee.
All right, so Japan gets a break as Fortune chops one out of bounds. Now 16-16.
Remember, Chris, the 17-point cap. Game ends at 17. Game point for the United States, match point for Japan.
Third match point for the Japanese. Fortune. Japan. Not yet. For the match and the upset. Not yet. Play still going.
Did the whistle blow?
That's a point for the United States. The ball, Japan is celebrating, but they don't know that the ball went down on their side. That ball was still in play.
We're going to have a discussion here. You never stop playing. Japan just stopped.
Here comes the Brazilian umpire again. Another discussion.
Where's the translator?
The American's saying he didn't blow the whistle.
The Americans are contending, of course, it should be their ball. The Japanese let the ball drop on their side. Seiji Oko listening in, trying to figure out what's going on. Fred Sturm listening, but probably to the gods upstairs right now.
Referee Ramiz Samedov from Azerbaijan getting a workout in this match. And now he is going to replay the point. Apparently a whistle from the crowd. Some wacky stuff going on,
Yeah,
Paul.
but you can't stop on that if you're the Japanese. He's really bailing the Japanese out here.
Third match point for Japan. United States, Timmons. And Timmons gets the ball back once again.
Has a little visit with Mr. Samedov. Just a little parting shot.
Is Stavrlik into it? I think so. 16-16. United States, game point. Nakagaichi. The United States can win it right here. Timmons. Stop! And over!
The
United
Japanese
States win.
stopped again. Unbelievable play. Steve Timmons from the left side. I don't know how Fred Sturm sits there so quietly. This is for game point to keep the United States in the match. It goes off Jeff Stork's right shoulder, drops. Timbo comes over and says, "How you doing? How you doing?"
How lucky can the American team be? The United States catches a break. We are tied at 2-2, and we are going to game 5.
When we're together, I want to be thinking about just one thing. Me.
Sometimes I'll just see a certain guy and want to get close to him.
Perspiration's okay when you're playing tennis, but not when you're close.
If a guy smells, it's such a turn-off.
Get a little closer with Arid Double X, the anti-odor antiperspirant. Arid Double X helps keep you extra, extra dry.
Yeah, I trust Arid.
To go from the practice rings to the Olympic rings, you've got to reach high.
Who can speak a language the world can understand? Spreading joy and magic, making friends in every land. M&M's can.
M&M's, the milk chocolate melts in your mouth, not in your hand. Worldwide sponsor of the 1992 Olympic Games.
I don't have to win. I've already won.
In our universe, there is always the unknown, the unpredictable. All we can do is prepare for it.
AT&T is now installing FastStar. It can detect a cable cut instantly, so 800 calls can get back in minutes instead of hours.
We can send flowers for any occasion, anywhere, but only if our 800 service is up and running. Our 800 service isn't just a phone line, it's a lifeline.
I'm excused.
AT&T has the most reliable 800 service, period.
AT&T. Call us.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ahmad Rashad. For those of you who want to order the Olympics Triplecast on pay-per-view, here is what's coming up tomorrow. One of the best games of the basketball tournament takes place on the Blue Channel when the Dream Team faces Croatia. Croatia is led by New Jersey net star Drazen Petrovic, one of the best outside shooters anywhere, and Tony Kukoc, considered the best non-NBA player in the world. Live action on the Blue Channel starts at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. The Olympics Triplecast, a whole new way to watch the games.
Well, we welcome you back and remind you that we will be taking you back to the conclusion of that tumultuous volleyball match between the United States and the Japanese. And if the Japanese lose the match, surely they will look back with some regret at the apparent referee error pointed out by Chris and Paul at the end of Game 4, when, with match point for the Japanese, there was a seeming misconduct of the match.
It certainly seemed like it, Jim, because according to the rules, the second yellow card on Samuelson should have actually been a red card, resulting in a point for the Japanese and the match for Japan, which would have been a huge upset over the USA. But now, because of the apparent error, and we'll keep our eye on what exactly happened there, new life for the USA in this match.
One thing we know for sure, they're still playing, and we're still waiting to see the outcome. Meanwhile, the first day of swimming at these games, and the surprise star was Nelson Diebel of Hightstown, New Jersey. Diebel, by his own admission, had a troubled adolescence with alcohol and drugs. He was twice expelled from school. Now he's a student at Princeton, and today Diebel beat Norbert Rocha of Hungary, the favorite, in Olympic record time in the 100-meter breaststroke. Nelson Diebel was quite emotional after winning the first United States gold of the Barcelona Olympics.
Hi, America, man. It's yours. Got it for you.
In the women's 100-meter freestyle, Americans Jenny Thompson and Nicole Hazlett were favorites, but China's Shuang Yong dominated the race. 4 years ago in Seoul, Shuang was the first Chinese swimmer to win an Olympic medal. She is now China's first swimming gold medalist. Thompson from New Hampshire won the silver. Hazlett finished fourth. Summer Sanders, meanwhile, made the best of the 400-meter individual medley, an event she says she hates. Sanders couldn't stay with Kristina Egerzegi of Hungary, but did hang on for the bronze medal. The remaining swimming gold went to Yevgeny Sadovye of the unified team in the 200 freestyle. The USA's Joe Hudapol finished 6th, and Doug Jerkson was 8th.
Kim Zmeskal, Shannon Miller, and the rest of Bella Caroli's gymnastics squad are trying to win the first ever U.S. team gold medal. But to accomplish that, they will have to get by the powerful unified team. And for reigning world champion Kim Zmeskal, it was disaster on her very first event. A fall off the balance beam attempting a back handspring may have greatly damaged Kim's chances to compete for the women's all-around title. The unified team, as expected, held first place, led by its veteran Svetlana Boginskaya, who scored a near-perfect 9.975 on the floor. But the bright spot of the evening was 4'6" Shannon Miller of Edmond, Oklahoma. Miller put the U.S. in second place and stood first in the individual rankings ahead of Boginskaya. The final of the women's team competition is Tuesday.
Eric Griffin of Jasper, Tennessee, has spent the past 4 years trying to put his 1988 Olympic experience behind him. Griffin lost his chance to compete in Seoul when he tested positive for marijuana at the U.S. boxing trials. Since then, Eric Griffin has won 2 world championships. Heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield was on hand today to watch Griffin, who did not have an easy time with Fausto Mercedes of the Dominican Republic. Griffin in blue won the match by a score of 14-2, and afterwards said of the much taller Dominican Mercedes, "I don't think he's really 106 pounds." Griffin's teammate Pepe Riley also won, although on a more controversial note. Riley's opponent, Victor Baute of Spain, left the ring in confusion after the referee had abruptly stopped the fight in the 3rd round. Baute had not been impressive to that point, but his home crowd still was vocally unhappy with the decision. Riley moves on in the welterweight draw, and on Monday, light middleweight Raul Marquez has his opening bout. We'll bring that to you right here on the Late Night Show.
after being mobbed for autographs and pictures at the opening ceremony by everyone from Steffi Graf to half the Spanish delegation. The Dream Team finally got its Olympic competition underway against Angola. And as expected, it was none too pretty for the Angolans. They had been hoping to keep the U.S. winning margin to under 50 points, and they did keep it to 48, but that was just halftime. Kobe, the Olympic mascot, is everywhere, and he was on hand to welcome Magic and company. The score tied at 7, and it was downhill for the Angolans after that, as the U.S. ran off an unanswered 31 straight points. Here in the second half, they continued to run and gun. The mailman turned around in the lane. He finished with 19 points, and of course, some vintage Michael Jordan. The Dream Team shot 65% and cruised to a win. The team from the former Yugoslav Republic of Croatia played that nation's first ever Olympic basketball game against Brazil. New Jersey Nets sharpshooter Drazen Petrovic had 22 points, and that man, number 7, Toni Kukoc, 11 points, 4 assists, but more importantly, a terrific defensive job on Brazil's Oscar Schmidt. They play the Dream Team on Monday. In other games, Golden State Warrior Šarūnas Maršalionis and the Lithuanian team beat China by 37. And despite loud support from the home crowd in Badalona, Spain lost to Germany 83-74. The Germans getting 26 points from Detlef Schrempf of the Indiana Pacers. For the Dream Team today, their game against Angola amounted simply to a tune-up for Croatia. And two men, Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan, can't wait to get their hands on Toni Kukoc and see how good that kid really is.
Because Kukoc belongs to the Chicago Bulls, because a couple of years ago, Jerry Krause, the Bulls general manager, made Scottie Pippen wait while he made an attempt to sign Kukoc to a contract. Certainly Scottie hasn't forgotten that one. And of course, we haven't forgotten that it could have been an even more interesting game prior to the political disintegration of Yugoslavia. Imagine the Croatians, when you see them tomorrow night, with Serbian center Vlade Divac of the Lakers, because he was the one who used to be what is now the missing link in this team.
And we'll talk to Karl Malone about all of this, Croatia and more, the Dream Team. Karl Malone joins us in the studio with the latest on their Olympic experience.
Sunday, August 16th, an organization so secret, so important, so powerful. We're lucky they're on our side. For the first time ever, real-life dramas inspired by America's most elite organization. Secret Service, premiering Sunday at 7, 6 Central, after the Olympics on NBC.
The biggest oven I've ever seen.
Introducing a GE gas oven with sealed burners and 30% more oven space, all in the same kitchen space. The new XL44 from GE.
You've made too much food. Ariel, you're a pain in the...
It's the big oven everyone's talking about.
A welcome hug, a warm embrace. It's good to see a friendly face. There's something special in the air. So much to say. How have you been? It's great to be with you again. There's something special in the air.
Of all the things we do at American Airlines, none is more rewarding than the one thing we've been doing for over 50 years, bringing the people of the world together.
Take me high, fly me there across the sky. There's something special in the air.
Welcome back to our late night studio here in Barcelona. As promised, Karl Malone The second leading scorer for the Dream Team today in their game against Angola joins Jim Lampley.
All right, thanks a lot, Hannah and Carl. Welcome to Club Barcelona. Congratulations on getting an Olympic game under your belts. How did it feel to play it?
It felt really well. Jim, we've been playing each other a lot, and I guess we're tired of beating up each other, so it was neat to see some fresh people out there to play against. And it was a game that we wanted to get on our belt because we've been practicing really hard, and we couldn't wait for it to get here.
You had 19 points, and in general, it appears that in international ball, there aren't going to be many power forwards who can match your blend of muscle and speed.
Well, I just try to go out and play. I think on this team, we have such great athletes that if you can get the ball off the boards and run the floor, 9 times out of 10 you'll get it back because we have great athletes. So myself and Charles run the floor really well. So we got a lot of easy layups, which we know as it go on, they might get shorter and shorter, but we're trying to do it right now.
Maybe some of those layups are too easy. When you win by 68 points, people are looking for something to write about, and tonight, the wire services are writing about Charles Barkley's elbow to the chest of an Angola player in the midst of a 46-1 run in the first half. Did you see it, and what did you think about it?
Well, first of all, I'm a really good friend with Charles, and we talk to Charles a lot. He's a guy that plays with a lot of emotion, but on the other hand, it's already some bad vibes about the Dream Team already. Sure, it's millions of people who want to see us win, but it also those out there that say we're spoiled athletes and things like that. And to me, I don't think it was any place for it. I'm just basically calling it like I said, and I think Charles feel like that. Because the worst thing we want to do now is have those same people turn against us that's been following us for all these times. And you never know what might trigger people to say jump off that bandwagon, which we like that they're on it. And I think not just me, but I think all the other guys echo that same thing. You don't do things like that because you need to represent yourself in a professional way because we are representing the USA.
So as his buddy, you might seek to have one more conversation with Charles just to say this isn't necessary.
Oh, absolutely. And I think if I don't, I'm not doing him a favor, or better than that, I'm not doing this team a favor. Everybody on this team is equal, and we are called the Dream Team, and there's 12 of us playing on this team, and we don't need one guy out there doing something that's going to reflect on the whole team.
There's a lot of excitement about tomorrow's game against Croatia, our first chance to see Tony Kukoc against this kind of competition. What do you know about him and them?
Well, I don't know a lot about him, but if you listen to Michael and Scotty, they know a whole lot about him because apparently there was some mixed emotions about him going to Chicago. So those guys are really fired up to play, and I think that's just going to reflect the whole team. Jim, we are here to take care of business and do it the right way. And that's our whole attitude. And we are coming out tomorrow to play, and we feel we're the best. And they feel they're the best. So we'll see what happens, but we're excited about playing.
I'll tell you one thing, you're the best interview we've had so far in Club Barcelona. Thanks for coming in,
Thank
and
you
best
very
of luck.
much. You betcha.
All right. Hannah?
All right, thanks, guys. We're going to get you back to the Palau de Sports now and the volleyball match between the USA and Japan. The Americans came back. They have tied it up at 2 games apiece. Now for the call on the deciding 5th game, here's Paul Sunderland and Chris Marlowe.
Welcome to the Palau de Sports men's volleyball, the qualifying round, United States and Japan. We are tied at 2 games apiece. The United States coming back and winning a thrilling game 4, 17-16. This 5th game, speed scoring explained, Paul.
Normal volleyball, you only score when you serve. Speed scoring every time the ball is put in play. Every rally, a point goes on the board.
Bob Samuelson stuffs Yuichi Nakagaichi for the 5th time. The United States takes a 1-0 lead. Samuelson has been a key after coming in for the injured Ryan Ivey.
He's absolutely been the key. If anybody can stop Nakagaichi, it is Bob Samuelson. He did it at the World Cup, and that ball is out of bounds. U.S. off to a great start in the 5th game.
2-0, the USA. Trying to get by Japan. Underdog Japan has played brilliantly. Back set and the put away for Junichi Kurizawa, 6-2 out of Iwate.
Japan. Key for Japan, as always throughout the match, they've got to play well, set the ball quickly in the middle, run their combinations. Look at the shank from Scott Fortune.
So Scott Fortune shanks the ball out of bounds, and Japan ties it up at 2. Remember, once again, a point scored on every ball, every play that goes down.
This is not a tough serve. Fortune's got to pass that on the dime.
Samuelson with the drive. Bob Samuelson out of Cal State Northridge. Samuelson now has 19 kills since coming in at the start of Game 3. Jeff Stork.
He's going to follow Nakagaichi wherever he goes, Chris.
Combination play. A little pinball defense from Bartine. Nakagaichi. And he gets the kill.
And that counts as a point in this fifth set. Point scored every time the ball is put in play.
49 kills now for Yuichi Nakagaichi. Samuelson, he's blocked back by Nakagaichi.
They're just shadowing one another. It's 6-on-6 volleyball, but looks like 1-on-1. Nakagaichi versus Bob Samuelson. Right now, Yuichi Nakagaichi getting the better of it.
Timmons. And Japan, chance for a point here. Out of bounds. Hitting error for Nakagaichi. So it has been a battle between Nakagaichi and Steve Timmons of the United States. Timmons has 46 kills, and Fred Sturm hoping to pull this one out. Off the top. And it's in. The block is in. The referee says out.
The linesman on the play called the ball in. No indecision. There have been some that ball's in. That is a good call. The linesman right there calling it in.
5-4 Japan. We've had everything in this one. And that pass is out of bounds. So Japan leading by a couple now. And Seiji Oko, one of the great players and coaches for Japan. He was on the 72 team that won a gold medal. And the United States taking time out. If you're head coach Fred Sturm, you are not only concerned with the Americans play in this match, Paul, but has to be concerned about the rest of the tournament. Brian Ivey may be out, so what is he thinking right now?
Well, he's thinking two things. We have not passed the ball at all well. That was a concern coming in. This match will multiply that concern. Secondly, and you're looking at John Cook, who's responsible for the blocking. This was supposed to be a key strength for the United States, and so far the Japanese have been out blocking the Americans.
So with Brian Ivey out, there are no blocks for the United States. As the United States goes back out trailing Japan. 6-4. Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland, Japan and the United States tied 2 games apiece. It's a qualifying match in Pool A. United States and Japan here in Game 5. Japan leading now 7-4. It is speed scoring, rally scoring, if you like. A point scored on every play, and the United States in deep trouble now, trailing by 3.
Well, they've just been inconsistent throughout the course of this match. Yuichi Nakagaichi, right there, number 3, has been the story for Japan, carrying them out of the bad times and leading them through the good times. Point on the board there. Point is scored every time the ball is put in play in speed scoring.
Bob Stabertnik gets the kill, and now Bob Samuelson, who came in at the start of Game 3 for Brian Ivey, who injured ligaments in his knee. How seriously, we don't know. He'll be examined later. Shank pass, and Samuelson with the ace. The United States pulls to within 1.
One of the few Americans that has a jump serve. All of them have it, but he's the only one, along with Brent Hilliard, that use it. Very, very important score there off the service edge.
And into the net. Game 5, the United States on the short end at the moment.
At JCPenney, we've changed clothes.
From head to toe.
Top to bottom.
Collar to cuff.
We've changed looks.
We've changed JCPenney. Our brands have a brand new look.
Our great values look better than ever. And every time you purchase our exclusive USA Olympic brand apparel, you'll be supporting the U.S. Olympic team.
Our track record will show that even while moving through the fast lane, this candidate has always put family first.
Fat chance. Finding a faucet made as well as a price fister. After all, it's the one made in its own USA foundry. The one uniquely fashioned with a heart of solid brass. Start to finish, the quality is first rate. Furthermore, the cost is a fraction of what you'd expect. So why fiddle around? Get a price fister. The fabulous faucet with a funny name.
The Lamborghini Diablo, 202 miles per hour.
the Lockheed SR-71, Mach 3. The Fountain Lightning, 114 miles per hour. The IBM PS2, featuring the SLC processor, the fastest in its class, proving that records aren't only broken in the air, on the track, and on the water, but on your desk. The PS2 SLC.
Furthermore, our candidate embraces the purest traditional values. Wealth is simply not important.
There you see Brian Ivy still limping a long time after the injury occurred to his right leg. Slipped on the floor here, and we're not quite sure what happened to his knee. We'll find out for you.
8-6, now 8-7 as Doug Partee puts the ball away. Partee has been steady, 12 kills, but the Americans have not been able to get the ball into the middle much because of the bad passing. Japan. Nakagaichi. Americans can get a point.
Big swing.
They have it back. Little pinball defense, and Stork smartly plays it over. Nakagaichi. Oh, awful fortune.
Administering the facial in the middle back. And the Japanese celebrating. Another point on the board. Another kill by Nakagaichi. Fortune never sees this coming. Look out.
The first facial administered in the volleyball competition. Going to have a substitution now. Coming out of the match is number 14, Hideyuki Otake, and coming in a much better defensive player, 22-year-old Masafumi Oura. So Oura to serve. Japan leading 9-7. Timmins. Chasing Matsuda, can't get there. Nice hustle.
You'll notice a lot easier serving in this, the fifth game, because if you miss a serve, it costs your team a point. When Bob Samuelson missed a jumper, it cost the United States a point.
Carlos Briseño checks into the lineup for Jeff Stork. Stork is out. Briseño is in there to block. Briseño, 6'4", 191 pounds, came from the University of Hawaii in Fountain Valley, California. And Stork will return.
And Stavertlik has gone down and left a huge puddle in the middle of the floor. Bob Samuelson trying to clean this up. Big gap in the middle.
The United States has some time, however, because Stork is returning as the substitute. 10-8, Game 5, the United States and Japan. Opening match for the United States. Jeff Stork calling the play. Timmins again. So Steve Timmins now with 48 kills.
A huge match for Steve Timmins. He's been there, not emotionally the whole time, but had a very effective hitting match. What Samuelson, Stork, and Fortune need to do right now is block a couple of balls.
Eric Sato, the super sub, is in out of Santa Monica, California. Gently a floater. Nakagaichi over the top. They play it. It seemed to have bounced, and now the referee says it's down. So our first referee says that ball is down.
Maybe the busiest man this afternoon have been our officials. This ball's over the top and indeed down in front of Bob Stavertlik.
11-9. Timmins. Japan has it. They set Nakagaichi, and he has it back. Nakagaichi finally hits one out of bounds, and the Americans
cost his team a point, and he comes over to Seiji Oko. Gives him 5, and Fred Sturm, I'll tell you, I don't see how he's so relaxed. This match has been an absolute war.
Both teams trying to go to 1-0 in the pool. Spectacular dig by Sato, but Samuelson cannot run it down. Going through the media and the television monitors to try to snag it. Every play is a point, so
Bob Samuelson took a very tough path getting to these Olympic Games and to the national team, and an equally difficult path trying to chase down that dig.
Otake, the big man, is in the front line. He's 6'10", and he blocks Timmins, but it goes out of bounds. This is a huge match for Japan. A young team, a team that is trying to get back on the right path, a team that
has not had much success in international competition. As of late, they were 10th in the standings in Seoul, Korea, and they are trying to pull a huge upset. And just as they give the old college try, Aoyama shanks one into the floor.
This has been the curse of Japan for years and years. Never would have happened years ago under the play out of Seiji Oko.
Crisp, clean. Old Spice. It puts the wind in your sails.
In the May 11th issue of Time, we reported what we saw during the riots in South Central Los Angeles. What we saw was the enemy, and the enemy was us. All of us. Can we all get along? If it's important to you, you'll find it in Time.
What more could you ask for in a 1.5-inch thick steak that cooks up tender and juicy? How about less? Pork, the other white meat.
When a muffler goes, some people look for a cheap replacement. Fact is, they can get a quality Midas muffler starting at $24.95. Fact is, a guaranteed economizer muffler starting at $24.95. Don't believe anybody ever beats Midas.
The games of the 25th Olympiad are brought to you by Visa, official card and traveler's check of the 1992 Olympic Games. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. And by Volkswagen, who invites you to test drive either of Volkswagen's running mates and join in their ride-in campaign.
Game 5, the United States and Japan tied 2-2. Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland at the Palau des Sports. We are in fast-scoring, point-per-play mode. Japan in black, trying to pull the upset on the United States. And the Japanese have a 13-12 lead now.
Fast scoring still. Once again, the Japanese take the 1-point lead. Yuichi Nakagaichi back to serve has been the story, leading them in kills throughout the course of the match. The United States must side out here, run a good combination play, and then come back and block a ball. They haven't been blocking well.
Saw Izumi Kawa come in. He's in there to block Timmons. Staberlik. Got it!
What a smart play. Trap set, too close to the net, too close to the blockers, and Bob Staberlik, been playing internationally for a long time, going high and hard up off the hands.
Bob Samuelson at the service line as Eric Sato checks out Doug Partee in the front line for blocking.
Does Bob Samuelson go for the jump serve here? He's been serving the jumper. No, he stays down. If he misses it, it costs his team a point.
13-13. Aoyama dug up. They'll go to Timmons. And he converts. Steve Timmons. 50 kills for Timmons.
His 50th kill puts the United States 1 point away from the match.
Match point for the United States. And off the hands. Now 14-14. Japan and the USA. Aoyama will serve. Timmons, expect him to get the set. Stork, Timmons, bombs. 15-14. There is a cap at 17. The game cannot go longer than 17.
You know where Jeff Stork is going to go in this situation whenever money is on the line? Steve Timmons has gotten 80% of the sets down the stretch.
Nick Becker from USC has checked in, a youngster, to dig a ball. Timmons serving. Match point again. Timmons with a dig. This could be it. Stamerlik. Yes! 16-14, the United States outlast Japan in Game 5, and a relieved Brian Ivy.
You have to feel a little bit for the Japanese. They had this match won after Game 4, probably the most bizarre match I've seen in 15 years covering international volleyball.
Game 4, talking about bizarre. Here is the culminating play. Steve Timmons up, roofed, off Stork, and that was it.
And that was game point. That's how Game 4 ended. And Timmons just coming over to say hello as we move into Game 5, and a much relieved, and really, how else can you describe it, but feeling that they escaped this whole night, the first night of the Olympic Games for the volleyball team of Barcelona.
The United States has won the match, but there is going to be a protest. It is going to be spearheaded by that man, Yasutaka Matsudaira, the head of the Japanese Volleyball Association, and his coach, Seiji Oko.
And that's the official score on his left, and he's pointing at the score sheet and talking to one of his proteges, Seiji Oko, the head coach of Japan, saying right here, this is where we're going to make sure our protest is officially filed regarding the second yellow card on Bob Samuelson at the end of Game 4.
It apparently was an official's mistake, but play continued.
Yeah, but a key here, Chris, the rules clearly state that a protest cannot be filed after the match. It must be filed precisely when it happens and before play resumes. If you try to file a protest after that, tough luck, but it seems that the Japanese are going to get it done.
This much we do know, Bob Samuelson did indeed receive 2 yellow cards in the same game. The opposing team, Japan, was leading 14-13. They were serving. They should have gotten a point. They should have won the match at that point. Did the United States win it? There will be a meeting Monday morning to find out.
Well, you've heard Chris Marlowe establish that there will be a meeting tomorrow morning involving the Japanese and American delegations and international volleyball officials, and Hannah, there are a variety of possibilities there.
Really, as we see it, there are 3 ways they could go. They could uphold the decision as it is and give the Americans the win. They could reverse the outcome of the game, give the Japanese a match, although to our knowledge that has never been done in international competition because of a protest. The third thing they could do is replay the match from the point of the controversy surrounding the second yellow card. We believe that has never been done in international competition either.
And ultimately, 2 other points may prove more important. Number 1, even if they lose this match to the Japanese via forfeiture, the Americans would in all likelihood only have to win 2 of 3 matches in which they'd be heavily favored against Spain, Canada, and France to move on into the quarterfinal round. Number 2, the injury to Brian Ivy, now lost amid all this controversy, could turn out to be the most important thing. We're told that Ivy, being examined tonight, may not be able to return at any time during the Olympics.
And that could certainly be a crucial blow to America's hopes for a 3rd straight gold. Dick and Katie will be on top of both stories tomorrow on the morning show. Jim and I will be right back in just a moment to wrap things up from Club Barcelona.
Samson, darling, that old loincloth does nothing for you.
It's comfortable, Delilah. What should I wear?
Gird those lovely loins in something temptingly different.
Ribbed whites?
From Fruit of the Loom.
Hey, incredible! This ribbed cotton is more than comfortable.
It moves with you.
Yeah, and the cut's trimmer.
I see, my mighty one.
They feel great!
For extra comfort and style, pick Fruit of the Loom ribbed whites.
Sam, I told you to get a haircut.
To
Tostitos restaurant-style tortilla chips. You've never had it this good. Tostitos. This is the taste that takes you there.
Both Visa and American Express Gold cards can get you to La Roche-Guyon, one of the prettiest towns in France. But should something go wrong here, only Visa Gold can get you out.
You had to come to France, right?
Don't start, Marty.
Because La Roche-Guyon's only towing service
No, we're not getting a tow truck. I can get this out.
doesn't take American Express.
Oui?
Visa Gold, delivering what really matters.
Jamal's France.
Honey, that means I eat France.
Oh.
It's everywhere you want to be.
Introducing Glade Plug-in's Nightlight, a bright new way to plug into freshness.
Plug it in, plug it in.
The freshness of a plug-in, the convenience of a nightlight.
Plug it in, plug it in.
It gently warms its refill cartridge for 30 days of freshness.
Freshness day and night. Freshness with the light. Plug it in, plug it in.
Original, shell, and new Nightlight.
Plug it in, plug it in.
From SC Johnson Wax.
We'll be back after these messages.
The rush is on for the incomparable new GE Profile refrigerator. The GE Profile is full of smart ideas, like a shelf that tucks away for tall things, and shelves that glide out so you can find things. It's called Smart Space Design. Smart ideas that let you put things in, take things out, and clean things up so quickly and easily that you'll never again miss your favorite commercials.
We bring good things to life.
A look at the Olympic torch and a not-so-subliminal message about a coming attraction here in Late Night.
That's right. In just a few moments, we'll take you back to the highlight of Saturday night's opening ceremony.
But right now, it's time to tell you that Dick Enberg and Katie Couric will bring you the latest on that developing volleyball story when NBC's Olympic morning show begins in just 5 hours at 7 a.m. They'll also have the beginning of the men's team gymnastics competition and the swimming heat, and an interview with the first U.S. gold medalist of these games, Nelson Diebel. And then tomorrow night at 7:30, Game 2 for the Dream Team, playing Croatia. Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen facing Chicago Bulls draft pick Tony Kukoc for the first time in what has already become a major war of words. Jordan wants to find out if Kukoc can really play with the NBA's elite. And after an 8-year wait, American swimmer Pablo Morales gets one last chance at a medal in the 100-meter butterfly. And for us, right here on Late Night Boxing, our first look at light middleweight star Raul Marquez of Houston. Marquez, the son of an immigrant machinist, was born in Mexico, has been boxing since the age of 9, his first bout of these Olympics, Monday.
That's a look forward at our Olympic schedule. Now a look back at the official start of the Barcelona Games, the opening ceremony on Saturday, and the dramatic moment when the Olympics formally got underway in a flash of light. Since 1936, the highlight of the opening ceremony has been the lighting of the Olympic flame. For each Olympics, the flame is carried from its home at the base of Mount Olympus in Greece. Then it travels hundreds of miles in a relay of torchbearers from all walks of life. Usually, the torch enters the stadium. The crowd rises, and then waits, and waits, and waits as the flame moves on foot to its final destination. But in Barcelona, where life generally moves at a leisurely pace, the wait was just an eye blink. For the first time, the Olympic flame was airborne, launched into the night by archer Antonio Rubollo, who shot his arrow into the air and cared not where it landed, only that it crossed the gases of the cauldron. The arrow itself was extinguished, but its flames remained lit for 14 more days.
Hannah, I've heard a variety of versions of this story, and I'm sure you know the truth. Now, we're told that...
Oh, you are. Don't be so sure.
I'm positive of it. He missed the torch twice during rehearsal the day before the opening ceremony. Is that correct?
Right, he actually did. 2 out of 3 times he missed it. He looked a little nervous. Well, actually, you couldn't tell, but all he had to do is actually send the arrow over top of the cauldron, and he managed to do it just fine.
It's a heck of a shot under any circumstances. My heart skipped a beat, and I'm sure that was true for tens of thousands of others in the stadium. Well, what a terrific way to put the capper on our first of 14 editions. Time to say goodnight and close the club.
Thanks for joining us, everybody, here at Club Barcelona. Jim and I will see you tomorrow.
This great moment in sports is brought to you by United Airlines, proud sponsor of the 1992 U.S. Olympic team. Come fly the friendly skies.
Monday on NBC Nightly News. Ever been denied a loan due to a mistaken credit report? It's happening to thousands of innocent people.
This information that they have listed under my name is 90% erroneous. It's just false information.
Find out how you can fight back when the credit bureau screws up. America Close Up on NBC Nightly News.
Jeep Grand Cherokee, the first and only sport utility vehicle with a driver's side airbag. Now, isn't that just like Jeep?
Dedication. Just as our athletes in Barcelona are dedicated to excellence, your Farmore store is dedicated to saving you up to 50% this back to school. While an athlete's desire and talent give them the power to soar to great heights, Farmore Power Buying gives you the power to balance your budget. Remember, this back to school, you get a great deal at Farmore because Farmore only buys great deals. Farmore, a proud sponsor of the U.S. gymnastics team.
This is the biggest oven I've ever seen.
Introducing a GE gas oven with sealed burners and 30% more oven space, all in the same kitchen space. The new XL44 from GE.
You've made too much food.
Muriel, you're a pain in the... It's the big oven everyone's talking about.
Hey, no more questions about Bo's hip, okay? No more questions about football, baseball, advertising. Shut up! You thought it was over? Wrong! It ain't over till the hip socket sinks, okay? So Bo's got a bum hip, so what? Look what he's doing with that hip. He's hitting the bike, he's hitting the weights, he's wearing the shoes. As a matter of fact, he's in the pool, wearing the shoes, riding a bike with 120 pounds of weight strapped to his neck, okay? And what are you and your good hip doing right now? Watching commercial! I think you hear me knocking, and I think I'm coming in, and I'm bringing Bo and his big bad hip with me.
Sexy Soaps, south of the border, on hard copy.
Good evening, everybody. I'm George Michael, and welcome to the Sports Machine. Tonight, it's Sports Machine Close-Up, a chance for you to get to meet the athletes who have made the games that we cover so great, some who have truly become a legend in their own time, and other athletes maybe that you really don't know, but are sure to hear from in the future, especially with the Olympics at hand. One of those athletes is Mike Powell. You see, just about a year ago, Mike Powell was a virtual unknown. But then he broke one of the sport's longest-standing records. People started to take notice. Mike Powell broke the long jump mark set by Bob Beamon way back in 1968. Now, he looks for an Olympic gold medal over in Barcelona. The question is, just how far can this young man go? Let's go over to Tokyo.
August 1991. Mike Powell is ready to challenge a long-standing world's record.
I felt like I was going to step into the ring with Mike Tyson.
It wasn't Mike Tyson, but rather the world's record for the longest jump in track and field history, 29 feet, 2 1/2 inches. It was a record that had stood since 1968. For back in October of 1968, in Mexico City, this man, Bob Beamon, summoned superhuman powers to soar through the altitude and set the greatest track and field record of all time. Bob Beamon would jump 29 feet, 2 1/2 inches, nearly 2 feet better than the previous world record. Now, 23 years later, in Tokyo, Japan, at the World Track and Field Championships, 27-year-old Mike Powell was ready to challenge Bob Beamon, was going to try to rewrite the history books.
Everything was there, the perfect track with a great crowd, and I was ready.
Bob Beamon's record had stood for 23 years. Now, in August of 1991, Mike Powell would soar like no other athlete before him. Mike Powell jumped 29 feet 4 1/2 inches. It shattered the unbeatable record.
That was, you know, the culmination for the whole year. You know, that's how I was shooting towards, you know, since the October, you know, the previous year. So everything was going towards then. So everything climaxed in Tokyo. So I said, hey, you got to do it right now. You've been working hard for these past couple of years, and you've been saying all this stuff. It's time to put up or shut up. And I got a big rush of adrenaline, and I went for it, you know, and, you know, I was fortunate enough to get it.
Mike Powell, in rewriting the history books, beat Carl Lewis for the first time in 16 tries. His triumph ended Carl Lewis's decade-long winning streak.
I had the best competition of my life, and he won it. So he won that day, and he was the best man that day, and he deserves it. But I also had to look at myself in the sense that, hey, you either have to try to get better or think about moving on, and my objective is to jump farther.
29.4 1/2, a new world record, and the wind is okay.
On this historic evening, Mike Powell did more than set a record. He beat the unbeatable record of Bob Beamon, a record that had stood for 23 years. And the man who was there to congratulate Mike Powell, the man who had held the record, Bob Beamon.
23 years was really a long time to hold a record, but it added an additional level of interest to it. Now we have an athlete that they said that couldn't do it, can do it. So it gives other upcoming athletes the inspiration to do it.
Since last August, Mike Powell has leaped right into the center of the spotlight of success. His record jump proved fashionable enough for GQ magazine. But make no mistake, success will not go to this man's head. He will not be distracted by his sudden fame. For Mike Powell is a guy who has always had a fight for respect. Success has never come easily.
I was always the skinny kid, you know, who people may not, if they didn't know who I was, they might not pick me up for a game. But once the game started, I was the most intense. And if I get in the game, I'm going to guard the biggest guy, and I'm going to have a big guy trying to post me up, and he's not going to post me up, you know? And if I go out there and play football, then I'm going to tackle the biggest guy and I'm going to lay him on his back. But that's the mentality I've had my whole life, so I've been used money out there in the world, and the richest man in the world can never buy the feeling that I had when I broke that world record. It's something that you can't even put into words. I was walking on air, you know, and it was my moment, you know, and I want another moment like that next year in Barcelona.
To be successful, one must have a vision. Mike Powell already has his vision of gold.
The George Michael Sports Machine is brought to you by Rolling Rock Beer. From the mountain springs to you, same as it ever was.
It was fascination, I know, and it might have ended right then. At the start, just a passing glance, just a brief romance, fascination turned to love.
Can you believe it when some margarines say buttery taste and there's no butter in them? Kraft Touch a Butter spread has rich, creamy butter in it. Just a touch. Kraft Touch a Butter. A touch of real butter makes a real difference.
Every now and then, we all need an outlet for change. When this happens to you, switch to caffeine-free Diet 7-Up with NutraSweet, the 1-calorie Un-Cola. Put some Un in your diet.
Happy birthday.
Carly Simon joins Phil for a song.
Stay out of the ocean, stay out of the...
Next, Donahue. Monday at 3 here on Channel 4.
When we found out Lonnie was blind and would never walk or talk, it was like, what now?
Then they met Judith from the Foundation for the Junior Blind.
I'd hold and talk to Lonnie to learn her language, so I could show them how to read Lonnie's little signals.
The Infant Family Program helps blind and multi-handicapped children and their families.
Like now, when I pick her up, she relaxes.
That means she's cuddling.
Share our vision. Foundation for the Junior Blind.
Like a lot of nonprofit agencies, we needed some extra management help. We turned to Executive Service Corps. You can too. That's Executive Service Corps, 213-381-2891.
Welcome back to this special edition of the Sports Machine Close-Up. A chance for you to meet some of the players we talk about every week a little bit closer. I guess that no player in the history of baseball is admired and more respected perhaps than Mickey Mantle. You see, his career may have ended almost 24 years ago, but I think for many baseball fans, his legend lives on in vibrant clarity. For a look at one of baseball's greatest all-time heroes, let's go back into the past of time.
It's the 50s. Television sets are making their way into homes all across America. People are seeing new stars, new heroes, like Mickey Mantle. Mickey Mantle, the young man who came from Oklahoma and captured the hearts of the Big Apple. He was one of the most graceful players to play the game, and he could hit with power, 536 career home runs. When Mantle retired after the 1968 season, it was an event that transcended the world of sports.
Tell us, Mickey, what was it that made you come to your decision?
Well, I got to where I couldn't hit anymore, really. I think that I feel about as good as I ever did, but the last 2 or 3 years I haven't been able to run as good as I used to, or hit and throw, and the young kids are just getting a little bit too fast for me, so I thought it was about time I quit.
He was so in demand that in order to get an autograph, they would hold a special Mickey Mantle session. It's been 23 years since Mickey Mantle played his last game in the pinstripes. But today, he is more popular than ever. He is a true living legend, a man who is sometimes overwhelmed by his own image.
People ask me, don't you get tired of this? And the answer is, hell no, I don't get tired. I mean, I go to a card show and some guy about my age will come by with his kid and he say, there he is, son. He's the greatest baseball player that ever lived. I get goosebumps. I think about it, get goosebumps, you know. Or a guy might have tears in his eyes. He said, I've waited 30 years to meet you. I mean, I don't know why, but I'm very lucky. I mean, it's unbelievable.
There's always been a special mystique about Mickey Mantle. He hit 18 World Series home runs, was truly a clutch player. He was so popular that singer Teresa Brewer, one of the hottest singers of the 50s, teamed up with a song called I Love Mickey.
Mickey, me.
In his prime, he made $100,000 a year. What would he be worth today?
Did you ever hear what Joe DiMaggio said? He said, they asked him the same question, what would you be making now? Well, hell, first of all, they couldn't pay him or Ted Williams or Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, Stan Musial. Those guys are just, I mean, if these guys are making $5 million a year, no telling what they'd have to pay those kind of guys. But I like what Joe DiMaggio said. They said, ask him that same question, what would you be making? He said, I wouldn't be making anything. He said, I'd just go up and knock on Steinbrenner's door, and when he answered the door, I'd say, hi, partner.
It's 1967. He's 35 years old. has a hard time running the bases and is about to hit career home run number 500. Numerous injuries have made it difficult for Mantle to run the bases. It is the injuries that would short-circuit one of the most illustrious baseball careers of all time.
When people talk about me, they think of my legs, my injuries. You know, I did have to retire in 1968. I was only 36 years old, and I had to retire early. But I did play in more games as a Yankee than nobody knows that. I played in over 2,400 games as a Yankee, and that's more than anybody played. So I'm actually very lucky that I got to play that long.
23 years after retiring, his rookie baseball card sold for $30,000. He has written 2 best-selling books, and he has a world of wonderful memories.
Number 7, Mickey Mantle.
June of 1969, Joe DiMaggio is on hand as they honor and retire Mantle's number.
I've often wondered how a man who knew he was going to die could stand here and say that he was the luckiest man in the world. But now I think I know how Lou Gehrig felt.
He had a .298 batting average, 536 home runs, and he was adored by everyone who could jam their way into Yankee Stadium.
They had like 71,000 people plus in Yankee Stadium. It's one of the biggest crowds ever. And they retired my number 7 that day. And for a kid from Oklahoma, you know, to have his number retired with 3, 4, and 5, as Ruth, Gehrig, and DiMaggio, I think I was the 4th one. To have your number retired with those 3 guys is the biggest thrill anybody could ever have.
In October, Mickey turned 60. His mere presence evokes the memories of the past, when the Yankees ruled the baseball world, and when number 7, Mickey Mantle, was the king.
Every now and then, we all need an outlet for change. When this happens to you, switch to caffeine-free Diet 7-Up with NutraSweet, the 1-calorie Uncola. Put some in your diet.
July 1992. Oldsmobile goes further than any other car company to redefine quality. Further than the lab, further than the test track. The Oldsmobile Achieva went 100,000 miles against Honda Accord and Toyota Camry in a real-world test. Independent test results prove Achieva outperformed Accord and Camry in total cost, which includes maintenance, repair, and operating costs. Achieva, quality redefined. From the company that went far enough to prove it. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
Bartender, send me down a Rolling Rock.
You got it.
Excuse me, pardon me, can I get through?
Rolling Rock. One spring, one brewery for a fresh, clean taste every time.
Can you make that 2 Rolling Rocks?
You got it.
Lots of margarines say they have a buttery taste, even when there's no butter in them. Kraft Touch a Butter spread has creamy, rich butter in it. Just a touch. Kraft Touch a Butter. A touch of real butter makes a real difference.
Big news from the Money Store. Home equity loans as low as 8%.
Phil Rizzuto here for the Money Store with the great summer special for qualified homeowners. Now get a fixed-rate home equity loan as low as 8%. That's right, 8%. And your low rate is locked in for the life of the loan. Use the money to pay off your bills, make home improvements, buy a new car. It's up to you. Call 1-800-LOAN-YES right now. The Money Store, where America goes for money.
Welcome back to this special edition of Sports Machine Close-Up. You know, the 96th annual Cheyenne Frontier Days Rodeo is coming to a close earlier this evening. And I guess probably the most popular event at this legendary Wild West experience is the Wild Horse Race. You get doctors, lawyers, sheriffs, nurses, people from all walks of life who come to Cheyenne to try to ride a wild horse, a horse that has never been ridden before. To see how it works, let's go to old Cheyenne. A thundering herd of wild horses running free in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains. But for 1 week every year, the man in green, Harry Bold, rounds up these wild horses. He brings them up to Cheyenne for the wildest race known to man. Each year, during the Cheyenne Frontier Days celebration, cowboys have the opportunity to try to tame these wild horses. It's a job that requires absolute concentration.
We knock everything else out of our mind, women, whatever. We do knock it out of our mind, and we think wild horse racing. We think of what other horses have done, what we might have to do this time, and then we go after it.
A saddle, a couple of cowboys, a couple of wild horses. We're ready for a wild horse race. We just need someone to start it. It seems so simple. Just simply put a saddle on the back of your horse. Ask him to hold still for a moment. This is obviously going to be a test of skill and of luck.
Your first part of your wild horse race is all your skill. After you get on, you got to be lucky to get around, and that makes sure no other horses come back around, turn you back, and make you come the wrong way. That's your lucky part.
Once you've saddled your horse, all you need to do is hold on. Yes, sometimes you hold on for dear life. So you've taken a little fall. So your horse has stepped on your head. You better get up. Your friends have paid hundreds of dollars for you to get on the back of this friendly horse and ride around the track. That's the rules of the wild horse race. Get up, Mike.
Why would you get up after having had the bell rung once? Why would you get up? Because you were still a little goofy when you started down the track.
Wild horse race, you got to get her done. Your buddies will give you heck if you don't.
So your horse stepped on you. You have to go once around the track. It's a 1 mile track. Did I remember to tell you these horses don't know north from south?
You fear, you know, another horse bucking into you or going under somebody's rope, tangling up, falling, but well, when you're out there, that adrenaline starts flowing, and that's all she wrote.
Did he say she? Meet 3 young nurses from Cheyenne, determined to ride these wild horses.
To have fun. It's fun out there. It's an adrenaline rush. That's all there is to it. North, guys, north!
Today, our nurses have a beautiful paint horse to ride. But as man has learned many years ago, that which is beautiful is not always easy to tame. And just because you whisper sweet nothings in a horse's ear doesn't mean that horse is going to like you. Ah, we have another beautiful paint. However, the paint pulls away. Nurse Trudy Kaiser holds on for dear life. That wild horse is dragging her right back to the hospital where she works. Trudy, why did you hold on?
Why? We wanted to ride him. He slowed down and then he took off faster. That's when I lost him. I thought I'd hang on to him. If I could hang on to him till he slowed down. But he didn't slow down after he did for a second, and he took off again.
Yes, many a cowboy has tried to hold on, to convince his horse to give him just a little ride. The winner is the one who gets his horse to go all the way around the track and cross the finish line first. And while he's collecting his winnings, there's someone else who's just now getting started. Cheyenne Frontier Days Wild Horse Race. It truly is an adventuresome return to the Wild West.
Other companies have been making some pretty fuzzy claims about long distance. But with AT&T, it's clear. We give you competitive prices. During the day, at night, from home, on the road, to another country, from any place you can think of. End of story. So now that price isn't the real issue, what should you keep in mind? Remember service, quality. Look at the big picture.
I know you said...
Big game tonight. I know.
When you really love to play, the game takes on a whole new flavor. Introducing new grape-flavored Gatorade.
Gatorade.
It's a little different. It's a whole lot wilder. New Grape Gatorade Thirst Quencher puts back what you need. Buy Gatorade now, because specially marked labels save you $10 at Foot Locker.
Channel 4 News, the hottest ticket to the Summer Olympics. Weekdays starting at 5. You've got an Olympic passport to the sights and sounds of Barcelona. Followed by Fred Rogan's Olympic Profiles at 6, where you'll get the inside track on the world's greatest athletes.
Come on!
Then at 7, special Olympic reports featuring hometown heroes and their families. Plus, a preview of that evening's events. And at midnight, catch the Olympic wrap-up for all the day's thrilling action. Don't miss the excitement. Only on the Channel 4 News.
Thousands of forest fires are started by people who never realize what they've done. Some never even set foot in the forest.
Welcome back to this special edition of Sports Machine Close-Up. If you think Michael Jordan does amazing things with the basketball, then you haven't seen Tom Carter. Who? Tom Carter uses the most unusual equipment you will ever see as he performs his basketball wizardry. To show you what I mean, let's go to the woods of upstate New York. Now, what you are seeing is a man by the name of Tom Carter. He is looking for the equipment that he uses, sporting goods equipment, if you will, in his sport of how he uses basketball. See, Tom Carter has perfected long stick basketball. He spins basketballs on tree limbs up to 30 feet long.
I spent a lot of time in the woods, and I was going through one day, and then I just, for some reason, I looked up, and I pictured a basketball spinning in the air up at the treetops. And I thought to myself, my God, if I could somehow get that to happen, people would just freak out. They would just blow people's minds. And I knew if I worked hard enough, I would have a chance of doing it. And so, 18 years later, here I am. It's actually happened.
You drop into the gym in Broome Community College in Binghamton, New York, and there you'll find Tom Carter. He's the intramural director. 38-year-old Tom Carter practicing his unique basketball skills. Now, he's performed before NBA sellout crowds. Fact is, folks, this guy is becoming very popular around the league.
It's great. You know why? Because people like it. If I were just out there for myself, it would be different. But people like it. Kids like it. Older adults like it. Basketball fans like it. And almost anybody can look at it and appreciate it as something different, something that's entertaining.
By the way, did I tell you that the key is to be able to score? Tom Carter at the end of a 35-foot twig, and he drops it in. Yes, I don't know that he'll ever be the NBA's leading scorer, but he certainly is interesting. I'm George Michael. That's our Sports Machine for tonight. Look forward to seeing you next Sunday on Sports Machine Close-Up. Good night, everybody.
The George Michael Sports Machine is brought to you by AT&T, proud sponsor of the 1992 Olympic team.